Happy Saturday night, everybody. This is a different stream for me. I'm doing the AEW thing. So Dynamite is different than Collision. This is different from my normal show. Instead of me just doing the solo opening, I'm just going to have everybody on screen. Also tonight, no pinball money super chats. I'm not playing those videos. Don't ask. It's not happening. And I've actually, as a favor, I've tried to modify the ads so they're not as often. So we're going to have a good, clean, fun show tonight. And I've got some awesome people here that, you know, like when I do these big streams, I like to bring people on, showcase their channels, meet new people. So it's not the same echo chamber that I'm normally in of the same comments, get some different opinion on these products and just really hang out with some different people and friends on YouTube. So I want to introduce you to who we got here tonight. We got a kid there, I think. Who's got the kid there? Is that you, Corner Kid?
My family is here, guys. The kids are ready to stream. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, bring your kid up on camera and say hello. Well, probably not. I mean, a lot of people.
Well, Logan's behind the scenes now. He's checking out all the ring lights, so he's loving it.
Nice. Anyways, we'll start with Cornercade since he's got his family there. This is the best time to do it. Cornercade, obviously, people know you by now, but why don't you introduce yourself? Sent a letter out to Cornercade by registered mail. It made it to him in time, and he's available for the show tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for having me on, Mike B, and everybody else. Cool to see you guys. I think, Todd, this is the first time I'm actually on stream with you, Papa Brad, and Biggie D, so it's good to meet you guys finally on live chatting kind of thing. We got good discussions, guys. We got a lot of cool things to talk about tonight, so it's going to be really exciting. Tonight, we did like a family gameplay in the arcade, so I don't know if anybody checked that out, but for anybody that says YouTubers don't play arcades, you're talking on the wrong channel here because we play these things at least once a day. So
we're supposed to play our games?
Yeah, of course, right? What an odd concept.
That's weird. What's going on? All right, so moving down, we're not going to go in order. Next up is my buddy Papa Brad. How you doing, Papa Brad?
Hey, what's happening? Nice to be here, Michael B.
Oh, man. Welcome, my man.
Man, I need to disclose that I am in a Skype group with AtGames. Rexer told me before I came on the stream that if I didn't do that, hell would be paid. So let me disclose that I am an AtGames shill.
Yeah, I'm in the same Skype thread. Bill, you're in there too. I'm sorry to out you, Bill, but
that's okay. It's fair.
Now, I joined it years ago, and originally we had to sign an NDA when I came in, but I don't think that's active anymore. No. My NDA is gone, and they just invite people now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just like welcome.
Yeah.
And the information isn't given early. Like we don't know what's coming out like 2 months early. It's basically just, hey, here's some news. If you want to report on it, do it. So it's not some secret evil society. It's just, hey, we got AtGames news. So, Brad, anything else other than your disclosure you want to tell people about?
I made my first VR review today that I've ever made. I made a review for Walkabout Golf. So check it out on my channel, Papa Brad's Gaming. Entered the Matrix and did some VR. Pretty cool. Reaching out, trying some different things, having some fun. That's what's all about, having fun with friends, right?
Exactly. What system did you play it on? Is it on the
I have the Quest 3. That's my first VR headset ever. So I got that on the urging of my friends, Brooklyn Menace. He said, you know, he's been after me for a long time. He loves VR.
Yeah.
And so I finally joined the VR revolution, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. It does not translate. Like, you cannot show it because it's so different when you're wearing the headset.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really translate to video. But it is great. It's a great experience.
It's weird because I got my first Quest 2. That's the only one I've ever had. And I got it through an actual paid sponsorship with, and I don't know who it was with. I don't know if it was Zen Pinball or if it was with Quest, but they sent me a Quest as payment for doing this video. And I reviewed Pinball FX VR for the Star Wars thing. And
I want to get that.
I had to record it, and it's the weirdest thing because it records in like this little small boxy type thing, and you got to stretch it. So, yeah, it is really hard to showcase what you're seeing in VR compared to actually recording the video for it. Anyways, go too far into that. Next up, Biggie D coming all the way from Arizona. You were just in Florida a little while ago too, weren't you, man?
Yeah, I just got back from Orlando and was at Universal Studios for about a week, or a little over a week, actually, 8 days total. But it was a really cool experience. There's a lot of stuff for people that like home arcade there, because there's arcades at like every park, and they have some pretty good ones in there. And everything's high end, and it's expensive, of course, but it's fun. And I had a great time with it. Probably my favorite ride there was the Transformers 3D ride.
Oh, nice.
It's just incredible.
I was there. I was there in 2011. Me and my wife went for our actual 2010. We went for our actual honeymoon, and the Transformers ride I don't think was set up then, but I was really mad because that was the first year Harry Potter was open, and that's the big reason my wife wanted to go. So we went to Islands of Adventure and saw Harry Potter. But I thought that the Back to the Future ride was taken out of Florida at the time because I had misheard, and I know it's gone from California, but I thought it was gone everywhere. So the Back to the Future ride, that's still there today, isn't it?
It is.
No, it's gone now.
It's not.
It's gone now.
Yes, Simpsons
but-
moved in there.
Michael, they did save ET for you. ET is still there.
I don't want
You
ET.
still-
ET
You
can
can
go to
still
hell.
phone home.
Not in Hollywood, only in Florida. Biggie, did you go on the Velocicoaster?
I was going to go, but it was a 90-minute wait. I was like, screw it. I'm
man.
not doing that.
What about
90 minutes well spent.
What
I
about
ended
the
up
Hulk?
riding King Kong twice because there was no wait. So I
Any
was like,
any
oh,
other
this is
roller
bad.
coasters?
Love Kong.
Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk, I didn't get a chance to ride that one either.
Hulk
I
is
did ride the
Brad.
Harry Potter roller
I
coaster.
love the
though.
Incredible Hulk
That was
roller
Oh,
good.
coaster.
that's awesome. It just takes off.
Did you do the lame stuff we did? Like when we went, did you go get butterbeer and buy a wand?
I did get the
Always.
beer for Simpsons.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. You had a
that
Duff.
beer I did have, and it wasn't that great, but
No.
just having the can and having the logo and all that on there was cool.
What-
Duff
what's-
beer. And
so
then they've
was
got
it
the
just-
bar.
Was it just Duff? Did they have Fudd? Which I think is
They didn't have Fudd.
If
No.
you're
It
a
was
Simpsons
just
fan, you
Duff.
might remember Fudd.
Just Duff, and
Duff
it wasn't
Man.
that great. It was some brewery out of Florida, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And but the park was cool. I really liked the Moe's Tavern. That was a lot of fun. And then they have the burger place, Krusty Burger. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you grew up
Krusty
watching
Burgers.
Simpsons, it's like fantastic
Did
place.
Yeah.
Did you do Tron? Did you go to Disney World?
Tron, I did not. That was at Disney World, and I didn't go to Disney World.
Oh, so
And the
only
giant
Universal.
pink donuts. I remember that. The big pink donuts.
Yeah.
You have to have a
The Simpsons.
reservation to ride Tron, though. You can't just go into the park and ride it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Weird.
because it's
See,
a new
see,
ride.
my next thing the next time I go down to Florida is the Galaxy's Edge. I really want to see that Star
Yeah.
Wars stuff. That looks amazing.
Yeah, the
So
Star
hopefully-
Wars I
hopefully
saw
next year I'll
last
be down
trip,
there for that.
And then I saw it again this trip as well. There's nothing new there between last time I went and this time, though. It's all the same.
Maybe that should be the next meetup is Disney World, Mike.
Well, apparently,
That would be, there you go.
apparently we're going to talk about this tonight because apparently Cornercade has been working on something with you, Phil, or it's being discussed, some kind of event next year in Chicago. Do you guys know
Well,
anything about this?
Oh, are we going to go to Galloping Ghosts?
Yeah,
is that the
apparently it's
plan?
another trip to Galloping Ghost, apparently.
Yeah. So,
I get angry when I don't plan it. I need
Yeah, let's-
that.
well, everyone's invited. I mean, Travis wants to come fly out, wants to sleep on the couch. He told me he doesn't want to stay at a 5-star hotel. He wants to sleep on our couch. I'm like, dude, I got you. Don't worry. But yeah, anybody like local, anybody that wants to come out. I mean, we want to go to Galloping Ghost and just kind of chill and hang out. I mean, you guys inspired that, like Mike, like, you know, you guys in the scene have inspired people to kind of get together and meet up in person and have some fun at the end of the day. You know?
It's the best thing you can do. I mean, there's nothing better than just everybody getting together, going wild for a couple days, forgetting your troubles, just talking about fun stuff. So anytime people get together is a good thing.
Todd, can you make the trip? Can you drive to Chicago? It's not much further than Cleveland.
Todd, you're muted.
Oh, muted.
Still muted.
No, you're still muted.
I got nothing here.
While he's waiting to figure his stuff out, I don't have an update for Time Crisis yet, so I'm still there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Contact Shop Hippo and ask them for an ETA, and they should give you a tracking number. I kind of raised a fit yesterday, and they responded right away.
Cool. I'll do that.
All right, so let's continue on while Todd is trying to figure out his audio. Todd, you might have to pop out and pop back in. I promise I will let you back in, brother. PD7, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, Phil, anytime. So what do you got playing there in the background? You have a little X-Men on the TV
We have
there.
X-Men on the Bobby Sarah.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I haven't had this on for a while. Doing a show with the bad guy Mike Worley. I usually have my MTV picture over here.
Yeah.
So I thought X-Men would be fitting.
Yeah,
One
how's
of
the
the
new
best
Saturday
arcades.
morning show going?
It's going fun. We're having a great time doing it.
Oh yeah, what's the viewership like Saturday mornings? Us arcade crowd stay up late at night, so
yeah, it's tight. It's going to take some time, but
yeah.
I encourage everybody to check out the bad guy Mike Worley's channel. It's got Zod Rider, Jester Tester, the bad guy Mike Worley, and myself, and it's just nostalgia. So we're talking Saturday morning cartoons and anything from the 80s and 90s.
Have you talked about Mask yet?
Yes, we had a cartoon draft today.
Yeah,
we each picked 6 cartoons to see who would have the best selection.
Yeah, you all remember Mask? Mask may have the best cartoon theme song of all time. Oh yeah, yeah. We had just a major Christmas that was all Mask toys. I got everything. Wow. The Rhino. I got the. Anyways, I was a lucky kid. I got it. Oh, look at that! Papa Brad's got some stuff here in the background.
Nice.
All right, so moving on. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Bill, you make videos. What kind of videos you make? You make like troll videos?
No, please no.
I'm a drama and hater channel now. Didn't you know?
So, Bill, it's good to see you were on last time with us too, right? Yes. So, Bill, this is your second time here doing this. Mm-hmm. How's everything been going? Game time still going strong? What's going on there?
So we're actually going to take a little break from that for a while. We're going to go on hiatus. Steven, the Tech Buzz, has decided he wants to move into some different realms. He wants to focus more on retro consoles, games, things like that. Not to talk about so much the home arcade space. So we're going to take a little break from that, see what he wants to do later on. But I'm still here. I'm still making my stuff. It's all, whether it's home arcade or whether it's retro games, that's the stuff I'm going to cover. Apparently I cover pinball from time to time too, because we're all pinball channels now.
We're all pinball channels.
Who doesn't love pinball?
Yeah, I like your Stern videos, Bill.
Thank you.
You know quite a bit about pinball, actually.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you. Todd, thank you so much. I had to scroll down. So we've also got Nerd Lounge Master. Nerd Lounge, it's your first time here. We met each other in Cleveland. You seem like an okay dude. So I said, I'm going to ask you to come on. I actually asked the rest of the Arcade Anonymous crew too, but everybody was busy. They were like, nah, we don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm the only one that doesn't have a life, right?
You're ahead of schedule, man. You get your Christmas tree up in the background.
That's a Halloween tree, Mike. Halloween tree. Come on now. Halloween tree.
This man took me to the airport at 4 a.m. in Cleveland. Todd is the best.
Nice.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, guys. So we're going to bring the chat up on the screen. And I'm going to try to figure out how to make us better so we're not all jumbled like this. How does this do? Yeah, maybe we're a little bit small. But anyways, new comments up on the screen. We'll get going with this. So the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight, obviously, it's the biggest news in home arcade right now, which is the AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP. We'll answer your question in a second, Sandman, about the layoffs at Zen, because I think that's a fun topic to talk about too. Mm-hmm. But AtGames Legends Pinball, we've been scrutinizing this ever since the Zen announcement was made. Some of the most exciting home arcade news for a while for all of us. We actually got to see the unit, what we think is the final unit, because it's a little bit unclear still, but it looks like that's the production unit that's going to be coming out the way the cabinet's built. But we also know that we finally saw performance on the Zen tables, and Wagner was very forthcoming. He had the first review out there. He said there's currently a little bit of lag, but Zen acknowledges that this is an early build just to have it on the cabinet, and they're still working on optimizing it. So I wanted to get your guys' take on your first impressions of the AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP with Adam's family running on it. Let's start with you, Bill.
Okay, so unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to see it in person like others have. Yeah. But as was mentioned, yes, I'm part of the influencer list for AtGames, so they did put out
influencer. It's not influencer. Okay. YouTube media list.
YouTube media list. Sorry,
P-Dubs gets mad when we say influencer.
For AtGames, and they did send us out some videos to take a look at, and I gotta say it does look pretty impressive. I actually love the new UI on it. I think it's really cool how it transitions back and forth from game to game.
I like that too.
It's always hard to tell exactly how good gameplay is from just a video that's posted until you actually play it yourself. But what I'm seeing, I actually kind of like. So,
oh man, That's good. Brad, you also are in the AtGames media thread with us. You're a big fan of this so far. I've seen some of your comments.
Oh,
You
yeah.
really like it. Why don't you tell us your thoughts on it?
I like it. I mean, this is the best looking AtGames product they've ever made, in my opinion. And I bought a lot of AtGames stuff. This is the best product they've ever made as far as the way it looks. You know, I love the ALP, and you know, I think this is just going to be the next, jump. It's a step forward for him. Now, am I a little concerned that the Zen wasn't running perfectly smooth out of the box? Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, I don't think they had a lot of time. You know, this was kind of like the ET cartridge release. If the choice was rush something out and have something to show, and show it, or hold it back, and I think, you know, it's better to show it even if it's in production, if they're working on it. But I love the other tables that are on it anyway. So
Yeah.
I've been playing those on, you know, getting on the leaderboards on those. So, I mean, I'm happy with the tables the original AOU had, but I'm sure Zen will get it right.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. The AtGames Legends Pinball is awesome in the fact that it comes with these original games. If you like them, that's great. There's a lot of really cool games, and AtGames keeps investing money, working with Magic Pixel, other companies to bring new tables. We say tables in the home arcade space, new virtual pinball tables on the machine for us to play. But it also just hooks up so easy, and the ease of access with this new machine compared to the old machine, it's already got the USB, the HDMI hookups there. You don't need a VIBS board. Everything is ready to go to hook a PC up to it and just run visual pinball, even Pinball FX from a PC. I think we're going to be eating good on this machine, and I'm not too concerned about whether Pinball FX natively doesn't work well right now, because I also know they're going to really focus on this and try to make it work.
I think you're right too. It is easy mode for like doing a virtual pin build. This is easy mode. If you've ever tried to set up virtual pinball on a PC, there's a lot that goes into it, as I'm sure you know, Michael, because you've done it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is virtual pinball in 4K that you just got to hook a PC up to for like $1,100. Well, it's a little bit more now. It's gone up to $1,300 for the pre-order if you missed out on the initial. So there's a lot to be excited about. But I also understand we're going to go down to a couple other people because I think they're going to have some comments. But I do got a super chat here from Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. What's up, Mike B and fellows? Just got back from the Pinball Expo, met Ralph, and fell in love with pinball. Yeah, let's meet in Chicago, everyone. You didn't see PD7, did you, Ezekiel, when you were there? PD7's in Chicago right now as well, aren't you? Well, live.
I was there. I came back.
You came back. Where are you two? You're in the great state of Wisconsin, correct? I like to dox people on my show.
Pretty close to Milwaukee. Danny and I are about, 20-25 minutes apart.
Yeah, not even.
All right,
actually,
awesome.
Drove past Best Buy on my way back today. I'm like, I don't know if Danny's going to be there today, but...
No, it's my first weekend off in 2 years, so let's go, dude. I'm staying here right now. Although, hey, on a total side note, we had an 8 a.m. work meeting, so fantastic. Wow. I was there from 8 to 10 on my day off, but that's life.
Wow.
All right, thank you very much, Ezekiel. Cornercade, what do you think of this? You're primarily an Arcade1Up dude, like you've got flying the flag behind you. But does this interest you at all, the AtGames Legends 4KP, especially with the Zen partnership?
Yeah, so I will say this. So much like kind of like 19K Fox, it's arcades first, kind of pinball second. I'll always just fall in love with the arcade machines. But the pinball actually has kind of gotten me kind of like interested a little bit. Is it something that's maybe a little bit out of our budget? Probably, and for maybe the average consumer, especially if you wait, you know, it creeps up there, $500 more bucks kind of thing. But the size of it, like I saw, you know, Retro Ralph's video, like him playing it, going through the menus, like it looks cool. And like my wife likes pinball. When we've been to a couple real arcades, she's all about it. She hops on it. Would it be something we buy? Probably not, just because of that, you know, just being a little bit pricey and just not having the space for it. I think that's the bigger issue. Like if we got this thing, it would go in the kitchen. You know, and it's like, well, what kind of fun is that? Like, you know, like
don't tell Steps that. Believe me, she gave me such a hard time about having some machines in my basement kitchen.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But no, we're gonna put the Atari pub table there when we're getting that at $2.99 sale. But
that's a great deal at $2.99.
Yeah, it's like at Ollie's right now. So that's gonna be.
You and I are gonna have to. We're gonna have to go together. We should go to Ollie's.
Definitely, yeah. So, but I want to pick it up
talking
because
ollies.
that's hilarious.
Can you imagine?
But yeah, I want to pick that up for there. But I think as far as the pinball goes, like Bill said, really good UI. It just looks clean. Obviously, when they clean up all the bugs, it'll perform a lot better. You couldn't really play the Addams Family from what I saw. But the other tables were working good. I know that dinosaur one was working pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not like a pinball aficionado, for lack of a better word. Like my heart is in the arcades, just like the arcades that I grew up at. I didn't really play a lot of pinball as a kid. I kind of just, it was there and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But, you know, I never really got into it. So for me, it's like arcades first, pinball second. I would definitely play real pinball if it was in a arcade. And this is a really cool product. Like, just to sum it up, if AtGames were to send me a pinball, you're damn right I'd do a review on it and I'd probably fall in love with it. But am I gonna go out and buy it for, you know, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400? Probably not. You know, I'd rather get 2 1-ups, you know.
So guys, we don't actually say on air we want them to send review products. Like,
Yeah.
I said if they were to send me one.
That's a rookie.
Rookie move, man. Rookie move. All right, so PD7, we're going to come back to you last because you were actually at the convention, so you've got some hands-on experience. I want to go to you, Biggie D. Biggie D, I talked to you a little bit before the show about this. So this is not a product that's currently on your radar, and for you, it's the price point, and that's an interesting discussion here. I did want to talk about a little bit. So, do you want to give your take on the AtGames Legends Pinball and how you feel about it?
Yeah, I think the hardware and like what you're seeing on the outside, the cabinet design, the size of the back box, all that stuff looks incredible. It's really put together well, very high quality, high components in there. And one thing I just can't get over though is the price. You know, it's going to cost me $1,200 if I had bought it the weekend of, and then now it's up to I think $1,400 or $1,500 with shipping. So it's just out of my price range. I can't responsibly spend that much money on a home arcade right now. I'm still in an apartment. I want to get into a house. Once I do that, then I should start buying that stuff because all that's going to do is delay my ability to get into a larger, you know, home to be able to have room for stuff like that. And I don't really want to sell my Attack from Mars. I play that one actually still. And I'm thinking about doing the Mystery Encoder mod here very soon and getting the Star Wars and the X-Men and all that on there.
Well, and another thing you could do, I don't think he's here in the chat, but my buddy Charlie Chuck, what he did was he actually modded his Arcade1Up and he put a PC in it. And you should see, like, this thing is awesome, beautiful. If you're interested in doing like visual pinball and you got like a spare PC that can run it, like just go check out some of the mods people have done on these Arcade1Up pinballs. Like the screen that's actually in the Arcade1Up pinball is totally competent of doing like really, really good display. It's just the power of it. That's why they put it down to 720p. So the screen is fantastic. Once you hook a PC into it, oh baby, you can have some good times there. And also, people actually put a third screen back in the back box for the what is it? The
back
display?
glass.
Back glass, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
DMD and black glass.
Really cool shit you can do with it. You might want to check that out too.
Yeah, I bought the PCB I have in mine from a guy who was modding his. He didn't need the PCB anymore.
Exactly.
And I got lucky on that because my first one went out, and I had never modded that one. And this is actually a good platform for me to say this because there's probably a lot of people listening. But my Attack from Mars pinball went out on me, and I had never modded it. I took care of it. I actually babied it, and it went out. And I tried to get a new part for it, and they were out of stock for like 3 or 4 months. So I ended up buying a used one on Facebook from a guy. Got lucky. But I know others in the community have had issues like this as well. Mike Worley on his Star Wars pinball, same thing. He finally got his up and running, I saw this week.
So did you do anything differently with the replacement?
Yeah, I uncased it, and it's like away from the monitor now, and it has more airflow. I opened up the back of it, left the little open door on it, and now it gets way better airflow.
Doesn't G.I. Joe, Todd, doesn't he leave his running all the time?
Yeah, but he has 2 fans going in that. And but yeah, he leaves that thing running 24/7 with like a massive fan going through it. So
yeah, he has a really good setup. He put like PC level fans in his, and it's high end what he did.
So what I used to do is those are the machines that I would only turn them on if I was going to play them, right? Like,
Right.
so I could leave the rest of my arcade on for hours and I had no concerns. But I was always nervous about the PCBs and the Arcade1Up pinballs. And I remember one time, like when the mods first started happening, there was some concern from people in Arcade1Up. They were like, it's cool that people are doing those updates and stuff, but I'm really worried about what it could do to the PCBs. So,
yeah,
and even picking up Star Wars
with the new Star Wars, the one at Costco.
Yeah,
I think it even says on the box that it's got improved airflow. Someone will have to confirm that for me.
It's the last run of John D, so it's just some vape that goes through it to keep it cool.
Vape cooling.
All right, so the price point, just really quickly, guys. We talked about this earlier, and I do want to say this, and people may disagree. We're all used to being in a home arcade space. Like, price is a big thing with us. Like, we're used to having certain things be certain prices. Like, our usual purchase point is like $400, $500. That's usually where we're comfortable with. Anytime someone puts out a product that's more, you're going to see it right across the board, all across the community. People are like $750 for Time Crisis, GFY. Like, you know, that's how people react. So I understand the sticker shock for some people seeing like an $1,100 pinball machine, right? You're like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot. But you know what? If it's too much, just don't buy it. There's another side of it too, where in order for you to do like a 4K pinball build, or if you bought something that's pre-done without a PC, I mean, you look at this and you're like, actually, you put into consideration what this is. It's a lot of value for that, but it might not be value for you if you're the kind of person who wants to buy something for $500. So there's no right or wrong answer. Is it too expensive? Maybe for you. Is it a good deal? Maybe for some. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the AtGames Legends Ultimate 4KP, the arcade, and what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's something way out there we're not even thinking of.
I think it's one or the other. I think that's, we're all going to look at that and say it's either the pinball or the ultimate, because they're both going to be, expensive.
Yeah, they have the Killer Instinct license now. So technically they could do a Killer Instinct cabinet if they wanted to.
So great super chat here from Nicholas Diorio. Thank you very much, brother. I was eyeballing Stern Stranger Things Pro, and then I saw it was $7,000. So anyways, yeah, I pre-ordered the ALP 4K.
Yeah. A lot cheaper. Like I said, you can get the ALP 4K for the price of some of the Stern toppers.
Yeah, I mean,
for the
Jesus
topper.
Christ. Rush topper was $2,000, right?
I have a quick question. So like we were talking about Biggie, you were talking about like price points and stuff, and I'm like I've never even played an Arcade1Up pinball. So like are the tables or the maps or whatever on that, are they better than like the AtGames? And then the AtGames just has like a better form factor and it's just bigger and
no. From what I hear, the AtGames is way better. I've gotten very little playtime on one. I got to play it at Cleveland for a little bit. But I haven't had like hours on it. But from what I've seen, it's way better than what I have on the Arcade1Up.
So would it be worth then like
720p, where the AtGames runs at 1080p? New one will run at 4K, which is incredible.
So would it be worth then like selling that even for like $300 and then trying to upgrade to the new Adams family? Can I kind of chip away at that price point a little?
For me right now, I don't want to spend that much money because I just want to save space because I don't have a lot of room. And I don't want to sell the one I have because I got a good deal on it. And just save my money for a house and then get something like that when I'm ready.
Yeah, 100%.
Biggie D's doing some adulting. He's doing some adulting here. He's being responsible.
Right. Every now and then we
Papa Brad will live in a cardboard box and have 40 arcades behind him.
Yeah, every now and then.
Biggie D.
Every now and then we got to do that. So I'm currently I'm liquidating a bunch of stuff, trying to get ready for Stranger Things because like as soon as they come out, I got to try to sell my Dungeons and Dragons, get everything ready. But my stove went out, and so I'm just like, God damn it!
Man.
I got to be an adult. Maybe Stranger Things isn't going to happen.
Oh, man.
Nerd Lounge Master, your first thoughts on the ALP 4K? I see you've got the standard ALP HD behind you. You've got your Legends Ultimate. Obviously, you like that game stuff. You excited for the ALP 4KP? What do you think of the initial first look at it?
First look at it, I love what I see. The one that's behind me is stock. I haven't done anything to it except for the joystick. So it just really excited me to see this one. But at the same time, I'm like, do I need to upgrade or not? Is this the time to upgrade? Get rid of that and get get the 4K. And that's where I'm at. That's where I am right now. I'm kind of weighing my options. I really want a preferred skin versus the Addams family, even though I like the Addams family. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, I may be holding out for a different skin just because I want something different.
What skin would you go for if you could pick?
My Little Pony. It's My Little Pony.
Star Trek is what I want, but you know, we don't know until we know. And you know, what did they say? Like 25 different SKUs they were thinking of, or that was the realm. So there's a lot of options there. If there's something else that I could live with, I may go with something else.
So, formerly Nooner, he says this: you can't afford it. Effing finance it. Judge Reinhold, ruthless people. That's what I did with Godzilla, so I can't do it twice. Brad, what is this, show and tell here? What do you got going on?
Yeah, Brad's always
Addams
doing that
family, man. Check this out, Michael B. I did a video where I went to a toy show, and I made it through the whole toy show, and this is all I drove home with was the Addams family for my 2,500 subscriber celebration. Nice. Check this out. Here's the coolest part. I got an extra surprise. You ready?
Yep.
Look at this, dude.
Blockbuster.
Tell me that doesn't bring back. Tell me that doesn't bring back.
I got a couple down.
Oh man, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
It's got the rewind sticker.
I might have told you this before. I got a Virtual Boy case downstairs, a Blockbuster rental Virtual Boy case.
No,
yeah,
you can never get rid of that thing. You got to keep it.
I've got a pretty sizable VHS collection too. I don't know why, but I've got it.
Hey, when I bought this at the table, the guy's like, "VHS is coming back." VHS
it is actually. Yeah,
I was like, "Wow, I didn't know that." But thank you. I'll take this Addams Family tape for $5.
So I went out game hunting with a couple of my old YouTube friends when I was in Cleveland, and that's all they were looking for. They were just VHS hunting, and I was like,
"Really?
You guys are nuts!" But it's coming back in a big way.
Like, I got a bunch of old VHS, so that's good.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Get on eBay, Biggie D. They're sure you'll be 4KP.
I think horror movies especially are popular on VHS. If you have the horror movies, like the old horror movies,
I've got some goddamn horror movie gems. It's amazing, and maybe that's what I should sell. Anyways, PD7, you were there at the Pinball Expo today. What did you think firsthand experience with the ALP 4KP? Were you digging it?
I was. When I first stepped foot in, I was doing a walk and talk, and I said, we're going straight to AtGames. Like, that's why I went. I did have an impression that Cyrus would be there. I thought Arcade1Up was going to be there maybe earlier in the Friday.
Joe's Bar.
Yeah.
On Weed Street, yep.
Weed Street.
You didn't make it?
Aptly named.
So I thought going to AtGames and then you know, I know there's so much other stuff there, but I did want to see Cyrus. I thought it'd be cool to just ask some obvious questions, but I went straight to the pinball, and I was surprised on how much higher this is. You know, and people my size playing it, like it's going to be comfortable. You're not going to get Biggie, you will, Danny, but you're not going to get that pinch in your back. Like, it's just, you know, from being hunched over. I mean, it's 7 feet tall.
Adult sized.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, Brad, did you pre-order?
I pre-ordered it. Yeah, day one. Like
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I saw it was, you know, coming out, I was like, I was following it, you know, when they showed the engineering sample, and I was like, God, that art is just hideous. I couldn't even, like, I had to force myself to not puke when I looked at the art. I was like, what were they thinking with that art? I mean, it's got rainbows on the side.
Go easy. Community friend of ours developed that design originally. I don't know if it's he did the original ALP design, Kamla.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if he actually worked on the other design as well. But anyways, that was his original baby, and I thought that was much better than what the table was originally going to look like. If you were in the media thread way back when the ALP first came out, you'd be like, man, that art is beautiful compared to what it originally was.
Yeah, God knows what else they had on the potential designs, but you know, to me, when I saw that Addams Family art, I was like 1,000% better.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is a table I love, you know, and I've played the real pinball a lot. And it's a table I love. So I mean, it was the right table for me because I like the table already. I love horror stuff. I love creepy stuff. Addams Family's right in my
wheelhouse
thing that I like. Yeah, it's what I like.
Yeah.
But you know, I totally understand people that want to wait for a different skin, which they said they're going to do down the road.
I'm with Todd. I want Star Trek just because my dad was a huge Star Trek fan, and I get it just because of that. but I couldn't get confirmation. So I mean, there was a couple of representatives there, and they couldn't give me anything, but I could just tell like there's more stuff coming. It's just how long would that be? Because I want to get my hands on one of these.
Did you meet the elusive PK? Did you see PK there?
There was a gentleman and a woman there. I'm not sure. And neither the guy was not at Cleveland, but the woman was. I didn't catch their names.
Oh, okay. So you saw I think it was
she had
Delilah?
black hair.
Delilah?
I didn't get a name.
Yeah. Delilah was in Cleveland, and I don't know who the dude was. I'd have to go back and look.
But he knew more than what he could tell, and I wasn't recording or anything. I wanted to tell. I go, dude, is there a Star Trek coming or not? So
you were just like, I don't care about any of that. Star Trek.
I want Star Trek.
Those booths.
Wish I'd been there. I would have gave him a 20
Trek.
and said, "Come on, give me some info."
Yeah.
So there's a lot of confusion with that, and a lot of people second guess AtGames doing that, talking about we're gonna have all these skins down the line, because it's the same thing that happened with Arcade1Up. Killer Instinct. You announced this new
100%.
Killer Instinct 3/4 scale, and then the minute it's about to go on sale, you're like, we're also doing a Pro, and then people are like, well, screw my 3/4 now, I'll get the Pro, and then when the Pro comes out, the price drops. Anyways, but the thing I like about what AtGames did there is the fact that they're telling people up front, like, they don't care. Like, you can pay $1,100 or you can pay $1,500 if you want a different skin or whatever it's going to cost when it eventually comes out. At least they're telling you guys that they're coming out with different skins. That's
Right.
transparency. That's up front. So good on them for at least doing that, right?
But at least the backlash will change. Like, I mean, you're going to trick your mind. You're going to think you're playing, Space Invaders or any table on there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a big screen on the back box. It's 27 or 32.
I thought it was 20 inch. It's big. I went right up to it.
how big is it? I thought it was like 24 inches, the same as the Buy Stuff back box. Is it bigger?
It
I think
was.
it's 27.
I don't know if it was
I'm
27.
not
I think
sure,
it.
though. Let me check.
Bill, Brad,
20.
you guys probably pay more attention to that chat than
Yeah,
I do.
I want to say it was 24, but
I thought
I'm
it was
not
24.
100%
Yeah.
To me, I wouldn't discount the original tables. Like when they were showing the other tables, like Dinosaur Dynasty on that thing looked amazing. I mean, and the thing is, AtGames has been optimizing those because they've had those licenses. So they've had the runway to have those be awesome. And everyone I heard that played like the Taito tables or the included tables, they seem to be impressed with it, But that's because they've had the development time on those tables to have them
To really work on it.
to get them polished to where they should be.
Yeah, it's
My opinion.
23.8.
Yeah, okay.
It looks bigger, though. I mean, it looks huge.
It looked like it was 20 when I saw it, but it's hard to confirm because it's corner to corner. You're kind of looking at a rectangle.
Yeah, I didn't get the Dirty Harry pinball, Gregory. I found one locally here for $1,100. Really good shape. P-Dubs told me it's worth $4,000.
Yeah.
And I ended up
That's
not
cheap
doing it
for a
'cause I'm
pinball.
like, I can use this as a down payment on a home and get something like this when I move,
No, man, you gotta know that flipping lifestyle, man. You gotta flip.
You get it
I
for
bought my Dungeons and
1100.
Dragons cheap, and now I'm
Repost it for
flipping to
2K?
get Stranger
He was
Things.
going to help me move it, and he was going to like wrap it all up for me and protect it for the move and everything. He has a bunch of them.
Who does?
This guy that was selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like real helpful, and he didn't even negotiate with me. I was like, I'll give you $1,100. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, man.
Come get it.
Right, you just
Honestly,
want to get rid of it.
sometimes you come across like real hobbyists that are just like, it's not so much they just want to get rid of it. They're moving stuff out to make room.
Make space.
It's not all about the
Right.
money, and they want to keep the hobby alive. So like the guy I bought my Dungeons and Dragons with, like he could have been a complete sleazebag and said, I got a working topper. This table's worth like $7,000. Like I'm trying to sell it for. But instead, like he was like, I just want, this is a fair price. I just want to put it out there, and like it's a cool thing, and you're a decent guy, so here you go. So a lot of people are just like that, and that's cool.
That's
to
the
see.
way he was. Very helpful. And it looked
Nothing
like he
wrong
had a
with
bunch
liking
of
money,
them,
though. There's nothing, Michael B. There's nothing wrong with liking.
No,
I
not
like
at
money
all.
too. I'm a
Jeez.
friend of money. I like money. There's nothing
Who
wrong
doesn't
with
like
that.
money?
He had the World Cup soccer, and he had
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah.
And there were a
I
bunch of
love
others
that.
in the background you couldn't make out in the pictures.
World Cup Soccer is interesting. It's it's a great pinball with like a very mid-level IP, but when you play the pinball, it's fantastic. That's why Zen did it. I mean, it's a fantastic pinball.
Yeah. I remember seeing it before it came out on Zen and being like, like a soccer theme. I don't really care about that. Yeah.
I don't even know what this. What is this, a dog for soccer? What is this?
So I didn't really have much interest in it, but after playing the Zen table, I was like, oh my God, this thing is incredible. So every time I see World Cup Soccer now, I always jump on and play it. It's a great table. Another one that used to be a cheap pinball machine that everybody picked up because it's actually really good is another sports theme one, and it's like NBA Fast Break or something like that. Apparently also a fantastic pinball machine, but it used to be dirt cheap. So that would be everybody's first like pinball machine because it's just. Pardon?
That's the 90s. That's the 90s characters on it, like Jason Kidd's on there. Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, ALP looks pretty good. Thank you very much for your feedback on that one.
Phil?
I'm sorry?
Did you pre-order?
No, because I'm just holding out a little longer for Star Trek.
Okay.
But if it's Adams, guys, it looks good. It's so tall. I couldn't get over the fact that it's tall, man. It's like looking at Shaquille O'Neal. You should.
Wow, I'm really surprised by that. So
that's with the topper, though, right? You're talking with the topper.
With the topper, but it's just like
that's
where
does
the machine come up to you on your torso? That's what I want to know.
My waist. So when it comes down, it's right there.
So are you bent over playing, or are you like, because the Arcade1Up one is actually at a great height. The Arcade1Up Pinball, really super comfortable, right?
If you raise those, if you gave it as much height, I bought my parents the Attack from Mars, so it's high. It's just like that. If you raise the Arcade1Up as high as it goes, it's right there.
That's music to my ears, because that was one of my main critiques of the original ALP was that it sits too low compared to a real pinball. And for people that are taller, I'm 6'2", it needs to be higher, and that is fantastic.
And it didn't have solenoids in it. It didn't have a bunch of the features this new one has.
A big black box.
It's worth the money, and if it is Adam's Family, I'll go with it just because.
I think this is a comment on Danny's channel, but everybody's really concerned about your fun and enjoyment right now, Danny.
I got my listening face on. I got my listening face, guys. No, it's a super cool product, but it's not for me really.
Some people like cucumbers better pickled. I don't know.
Going back to what you said to Biggie, Danny, is even if he kept his Attack from Mars, like behind you, I mean, it's just nostalgia, right? I mean, you have all these different cabs, and that's the same thing with like Biggie. Like you could get the ALP and still keep Attack from Mars because it looks like Attack from Mars. It's like it's that whole look you're going for. Look behind Mike.
Yeah, it's a good looking table.
Let me ask you guys this, since we're on the topic of pinball, if like, because like Star Wars doesn't really go on sale, so like if Attack from Mars or Marvel, if any of those went like $2.99, $3.99, is that like worth a pickup at that point? Like I've never.
If you get one,
you think we would have $2.99 is worth a pickup? Yes.
Yes. Anything $2.99. Roger $2.99. Jump on it.
Roger's $3.99 right now, Mike B.
No.
You got Mike Worley.
I want to say one more thing about the ALP before. When people get the new tables, like if you have a home arcade, I would not hesitate at all about picking up the original ALP when people start selling them.
Yeah,
because I think you're going to see a lot of them come up, and if you can get an ALP for like $300 on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, I'm telling you, don't hesitate, because you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
VIP outlet on Thursday.
I know,
and it's since sold out, but it was $4.89 for the
get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
I feel bad for all the people that missed out on those Sam's Club sales. Like I was pushing 19K Fox so hard. I was like, it's at Sam's Club right now for like $189, $250. Just go get the ALP. And he's like, I don't know. He had one on his cart one day and he couldn't justify it. Here's the thing, guys. Support for the ALP HD, the original ALP. That's not going anywhere. Like all except for Pinball FX.
They're coming out with tables for it in the future.
Oh, they are? So Pinball FX is coming out.
They're going to come out with
I mean, for the ALP.
For the ALP HD?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Not
HD
Zen,
still
not the
gonna have
Zen.
tables
No,
coming
he's
out.
just talking about in general, like the
In
battle
general, like
codes,
they're gonna still
that
have
stuff
tables
is still
coming
coming.
out.
That's
it's
what
still
I was
coming out for
saying,
it.
but I just wanted to confirm that no Pinball FX as of right now. That's
No,
going to
no
be
Pinball
HD.
FX.
That's going to be 4K exclusive. But everything else, like the Killer Instinct table,
Still come out.
that's coming out on the ALP. So
Yeah,
like, don't. It's
HD.
not like this is gonna. It's not like this is the Nintendo and now it's Super Nintendo time.
Right.
Two of these products are going to run concurrent. AtGames is still making the original
Yeah.
ALP HD as well. So honestly, there's no wrong
The
answer.
ALU is
Right.
sold out right now. You
Yeah.
have to pre-order it.
Yep, and there's going to be
Mm-hmm.
more ALUs. It'll be the same thing with the ALU 4KP. It's just going to be two different brands.
And Sam's is crazy with the pricing too. It's like we got barbecue grills to put out. These ALUs $250.
Well,
how about a second one? Because it's like $250 for an ALU.
I know, but-
I'm like, you don't understand. Barbecue grills go here, and they just get rid of whatever it is.
What's
They don't care at that point.
It's-
It's taking up their barbecue grill space.
It's the same thing with like when Blitz sold out like crazy because like whoever was at Arcade1Up was telling these box stores and stuff, they're like, you're gonna want to get a lot of these are gonna fly off the shelves, and then they sat there for like 4 weeks and never sold, and then the guys are like, well, we got patio furniture we got to put in here, so just mark it down to $200.
Mhm.
I mean,
Anyways, guys, I want to transition away from the ALP 4KP now, and thank you very much for your feedback on that. So I want to talk about some other stuff in the Arcade1Up space, and there's some other stuff I want to talk about. So very quickly, I've got Pac-Man on the thumbnail, and there's a reason for that. Two reasons, actually. The first one is, who here likes Pac-Man like gear, like Pac-Man memorabilia, clothes, stuff like that? Does anybody have some
Brad.
Pac-Man stuff?
Apparently, Papa Brad does.
Of course he does. He's got everything there.
Yeah.
So
I got some Pac-Man lights right behind me, right there.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought the Pac-Man
Look at
Timex
Biggie.
watch a couple years ago. I don't wear it anymore, but I jumped on that one. Biggie's got the light. Friday morning, an advertisement came up for probably the weirdest collaboration I've ever seen. Pac-Man Crocs. Like,
Really?
damn, sign me up.
Yeah, Mike B's
Well-
getting those.
Sold.
That might be better than the boots. Okay, I think we can. I think I could wear the Pac-Man Crocs over the boots. I'm just saying.
yeah,
What I've been
it's
seeing
just-
are the My Arcade. They have Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man Galaga. And they make these little miniature arcades, these little miniature handhelds.
Yeah.
They're only like $20-$30.
Oh, yeah.
I found some for $15. They have like Data East games on them and kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Well, I mean, it's good if you don't want to spend a lot of money. Usually, you can play these. I've heard sometimes the My Arcade does have the console ports though, so that's the only thing to be careful of. Like a lot of times, you see those in Walmart, and you're like, awesome. Then you get it home, and you're like, console port. This is like the collector cade.
Yeah, I'm
Great.
not expecting much.
NES version.
$15, $20. So it's
Yeah.
like, what can you expect?
Anyways, so just quickly, I wanted to talk about that. You guys follow Numbskull quarter arcades? Like everybody's been waiting for the very expensive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles quarter arcade to come out. But we actually got a little bit of an announcement. They're coming out with a bunch of announcements in the next little while. They announced their first new cabinet today. They're doing Burger Time. How about
Right.
that?
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Love
Yeah.
Burger Time.
I love
Those
Burger
are
Time
much
too.
bigger,
Love
right?
it.
They're like bigger than the New Wave toys.
They're quite a bit bigger and quite a bit more expensive.
Oh yeah,
Really
they are
expensive.
not cheap at all.
No.
And to coin a phrase, Mike, it's still desk shit.
It is. Bigger than-
So I personally I don't think I could ever justify buying one of those at the price that they do. It was kind of cool to see them, like you said, announce Burger Time, although they did say, I think
What
they
is
said
it, like
2024 or even 2025. So it might not
Yeah.
even come out for over a year.
It's
And then-
two freaking years.
And then with
Development.
more to come. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
But that's the thing that I thought was funny because Turtles still hasn't officially shipped, and then on top of that, they've already announced Zookeeper, which I'm in love with. Like I'm so
Oh,
happy.
Oh,
with
that
Zookeeper
one
I
I didn't
love.
see. I
Yeah.
love Zookeeper.
Zookeeper.
Zookeeper is
And then after that, they're already announcing like Burger Time, which is not going to come out for like a year and a half, 2 years. And they're like, we're going to be announcing shit all week. I was like, when is this stuff coming out? You're going to release your roadmap for like the next 7 years?
It seems like it.
Messiah's Gaming's here. $2 super chat. Build Retro Gaming Show doing a segment today.
Thank you, Messiah. Appreciate it.
Always nice to see Messiah here.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I actually, I was very lucky. Some of you guys that were in Cleveland know I left the convention early on Sunday because my friends really wanted to go hang out for a little bit and they wanted me to go out to a meal with them. So what happened was the New Wave Toys guys at the end were like, we don't want to take this stuff home. So they actually gave out a bunch of their replicates to the people that were around the booth and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't there. And all convention, I was eyeing that Cubert. And Glenn's Retro Show actually went up to him and goes, "Hey, Michael B wanted a Cubert, so I'm going to grab it for him." So, thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Nice. I love
That's
Cubert.
really cool, dude.
Glenn's so cool. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's the best.
And
that Cubert cab is a lot. That Cubert cab is fun.
Oh, so good. The knocker, everything. Yeah, love it.
I saw the Ghosts and Goblins is still available, but the Ghouls and Ghosts is sold out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was on my list
New
too.
Wave Toys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good for them, man.
Michael B, I hate to be a bummer, but I gotta go. I want to thank you so much for having me on.
No problem, Brad.
I
See
appreciate
you,
I had a previous commitment, but thank you so much. Love the show. Glad I was able to be in for a while. Take care.
See you, Brad.
See you, Brad.
Have a great show. I'm gonna watch it on Restream.
Bye.
So yeah, New Wave Toys sold out of the Ghosts and Goblins. They only opened up the pre-sale for that. I think it was like 2 days ago. They did their big Halloween pre-sale, and it's already sold out. Ghouls and Ghosts gone. So now Ghosts and Goblins is the only option. So, Danny,
read Jason's comment. We might have to do a pinball super chat money kind of thing.
No, we're not doing any pinball super chat tonight.
No, I'm saying like a pinball money, like for our channel kind of thing to raise awareness here for this ALP. Put it up more and read it.
There we go. If Danny and Katie had a fully loaded ALP with PC connected and configured, he completely changed his mind on PC pinball. I'm telling you, he's not wrong. Yeah. I mean, even if you don't want to get the ALP 4KP, just listen to what people said, man. There's going to be bunches of people that are like selling off theirs now. So if you can jump on a sale one and then hook a PC up to it, you're in pinball land then. Visual pinball and shit hooked up to it.
Facebook
I didn't want to interrupt, but like I had that pinball in my cart too for like $200, and I didn't really know much about it. I should have got the damn thing and resold it. I know I missed out on it. I missed out on Killer Instinct 150. I'm just oh my god, but yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
All right. So, I wanted to talk about that. And New Wave Toys still have 2 more announcements to come before the end of the year. They told us last time on Super Game Room Dudes. So, any concept, what do you think are going to be happening? Do you know PD7?
No, I'm just bigger cabinets, right?
No, we're not getting that announcement before the end of the year. So, I know they're working with Glenn, and I know the rumors are going around. So, it looks like it's going to happen. But, like, the guys were pretty open about it. I mean, they're set up and it's a small operation. So right now they're set up with operations to do these small cabinets.
Right.
I mean, that's a big undertaking for a team of 6-7 people to then move to a major production, like big cabinets. Like you look at the complications Arcade1Up has, and Arcade1Up has this conglomerate of tastemakers originally, well, still tastemakers, but like all the experience and money they had coming from Hatchimals, plus these funding organizations, the number of warehouses they had. So that'd be a big swing for them. So as much as we say we want it, like pump the brakes and let's make sure they do it right, because we want to make sure that New Wave Toys stays around and keeps doing awesome shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
the Ghost and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. I like that it has the coin op function. That's incredible.
That's really cool.
It's a neat feature. It's a very cool feature.
You got to use the tweezers though. The coins are too small to put in. So you're like, time for another game.
Yeah, I went to the website today because I was going to shop one, and that's the one I want, and it's sold out. So it gave me a reason not to buy it.
Well, don't worry. You can get it on the secondary market for way too much money. That's the way these New Wave Toys cabs go.
Yeah, I have the Ghosts. I actually have right now. I actually have 2 of the Ghosts and Goblins one. I purchased one and I did a review on it, and then New Wave Toys actually sent me one for review. So I'm probably going to do a giveaway in the near future. But like I said, it's the Ghosts and Goblins one. So
that's nice of you. P-Dubs did the same thing when he got his review cabinet as well. I love that. And here's the thing about New Wave Toys: they're not putting out these cabinets because they're trying to force reviews and stuff. They literally just think what we do is awesome, and they want to give these cabinets out, and they're like, oh, thank you so much for what you do. Like, we really appreciate it. Just, here's a cabinet. Like, you can do a review. That's great. We want to get your honest feedback. never any interference telling you like ask us questions, show us a video first. It's just here's the cab. And like when Food Fight came out, they just sent it to me. They were like, you don't even got to do a review. Like, just we want you to have it. There you go. So
that's really
good
cool,
company.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
They're improving every time they come out with one. There's an improvement.
Yep.
So for you guys that were at Cleveland, Bill, you have one. Did you go up and actually check out their little machines and look at the actual new screen on the Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins cab, the new CRT 2.0 filter? How'd you feel about that? Because I was really harsh on the Missile Command and the filter that was on that, but I thought this new filter kind of nailed it. Anybody? Biggie D, you first.
I saw them and I thought they looked really good. Yeah, the Ghouls and the Ghosts and Goblins, it seems like it's a step above of all the other ones they've done. And I'm glad that they're doing all this because this is a good time to get in. If you've never collected them, you're starting at a good time.
And it's one or the other. Either you're collecting the Arcade1Up 3/4 or you're collecting these. Like I don't know if you could do both.
Oh,
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
If you get in on the pre-orders at like 120 or 130, they're not expensive at all. Even at retail 160, I don't think they're bad. For what you get, I don't think they're bad at all.
Compared to $400 for quarter arcade?
Absolutely, 100%.
What? Really quickly, $2 super chat. I want a 3/4 Zoltar cab from New Wave, $1,000. Sandman S1 and Man 1. He wanted to also talk really quickly about the Zen layoffs, and thank you very much for the super chat. I remembered that I was supposed to talk about that with the AtGames Pinball. Zen layoffs suck. That sucked. That news that came up last week, and a lot of people are concerned. I'm not as concerned. I feel horrible for the people being laid off, but I mean, they're part of that Embracer group, right? Like whenever these companies get merged and shit like that, this stuff always happens. Right. Like, unfortunately, people have confirmed, because I kept saying, hopefully it's mainly administrative. They said, no, it's actual games divisions. So hopefully it doesn't impact the quality. I don't think that you can draw a direct string to the ALP 4KP and say, well, it's going to suck now because people got laid off. I think that's a reach, but it'll be interesting, especially with Zen Pinball ramping up, also bringing out Pinball M, and I'm a horror movie guy, so I want that to be really cool too. So we'll see how it goes.
Look, as far as ALP is concerned, I mean, look, even if you said Zen Pinball didn't make a single new pinball table in the next year, there's still 140, 150. There's still over 100 tables that they've already put out that could potentially be on ALP. So as far as ALP is concerned, I wouldn't worry about it. It's just, where do things go for them in the future? And I think I think they'll streamline and they'll bounce back and it'll be fine.
Danny, I'm going to keep you engaged here now and keep you off your phone.
Oh, no, I'm trying to interact with the chat. Normally, no. Normally I'm typing here, but I can't type, and there's no, like, I'm usually the one that's got it. I don't have anything, so I got to talk.
All right, you go back to that. I'm going to ask more people about the Zen stuff. PD7, Biggie D, Nerd Lounge Master, feel free to jump in there. Anybody actually have any concerns about the Zen stuff?
Did they say how many layoffs there were? Like, was it half the company? Was it 100 people? Or
I can't remember if it was 30 people or 30%.
Okay. They're not a very big company, are they?
No.
I hate it. I hate it, but hopefully they can bring in, if things change, if the market changes or whatnot, maybe they can bring some people back. Unfortunately, I've worked in retail for many, many years, and you'd see people come and go, and it's just kind of part of the game. And I hate it, but I don't really have concerns that they're going to have problems putting out product or putting out software or anything,
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. It's impossible to say now. Proof's going to be in the pudding in the coming months, what they do. I think they've been killing it. I mean, I've loved everything they brought out. I will say their lack of releasing Elvira in October for Pinball FX that would be my biggest reason to say, maybe cut some of the dead weight because they can't seem to figure out we want Elvira.
We do. We do.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I would be also just on that point too, is like how big is Pinball FX outside of like our community and the people that, talk about it, I just don't think like it sells to like a huge audience. Like if you see it on the PlayStation, like how many downloads does it actually have compared to
A
like
lot.
other PlayStation games?
a lot.
Oh yeah.
But
it does.
today,
I think it's probably really it's probably really big like on PC on Steam. It's probably the biggest place for it, I would think.
I would think so too.
And
See,
maybe
the
the
fact
Switch,
that-
because with the Switch you can turn it and play it like it's, meant to be played, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Messiah's Gaming, $2 super chat. Hear me out. New Wave Pinball Micro. And you know what's crazy? Like we talked to Shiloh at the convention, and like I talked to other people from New Wave Toys, and they're like, man, that'd be so hard to do because it'd almost be impossible to recreate the physics of what happens on a big pinball machine on a micro.
Mhm.
And then you talk to Shiloh, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't give a shit.
That
It'd be
skee-ball
cool.
thing was pretty cool looking, by
It
the
was,
way.
yeah.
They have to put that out,
Yes.
like for
Yeah.
real. They have to put that out.
Yeah. So moving on from there, I did want to talk about some Arcade1Up stuff, and I'm really happy there's a couple people here involved in that, because like I gotta ask some direct questions to some people here for some of this. First off, I want to give Bill massive props, because I watched your video earlier today and I think you nailed it. Like your video was excellent, all the points
Thank
you
you.
made.
Thank
I'm
you.
saying this because you were really nice about me, and you were like, Michael B is not the problem. So I'm like, woo! No, but I wrote you back, and you know what
Yeah.
I said. I think
Yeah.
that fault lays on me too. I could do a better job of really trying to push Cyrus to get an answer out. But I will.
I think in some places you did, and I gotta be honest. I was watching your face, and sometimes he would answer. And you were like, okay. And I know in the back of your mind you're thinking, well, that's a bullshit answer, but I can't really say it's a bullshit answer. So I'm just gonna say, okay.
So I think the difference with Cyrus, a lot of people think he's not genuine, right? And people are like, oh, his answers are so political. Here's the thing. Cyrus is really like that. Danny, like you've talked to Cyrus, like Cyrus is really like that. Like you could ask Cyrus, like, Cyrus, did you poop today? And he's like, well, Cyrus Rosenberg is always trying to stay regular. So.
Like I could
This
literally,
is how he talks.
Yeah, I could literally text the guy right now and he'd be like, hey, what's going on? Like he'll get back to you. He's very, very genuine. And I think he just puts a lot of coach speak when the lights are turned on. And it's that type of mold that we as like, YouTubers, content creators, we need to help break that mold a little bit so we can actually get some like truth and real information. I mean, not like he's not telling the truth, but he's just dancing around things. Mm-hmm. He's a great guy, but I think it would do better for Arcade1Up and the home arcade community to just get right to the point and actually answer with a yes or no.
Oh yeah. Some direct answers would be a huge help. And Bill, like I thought again, you nailed it when you said like he was saying stuff. And here's the thing, like we have to do this. I hate doing this because you guys know how I do this. I don't plan anything. I don't structure anything. I'm like, let's just go live and see what the hell happens. But they want to, pre-show and all that stuff. And like Cyrus can like give a direct answer. It's just like sometimes it doesn't happen. So I'll go over a couple things. Casino Cade. I know this was already answered, but I thought it was important that Arcade1Up on air officially announce it. So we asked Cyrus, like, do you need Wi-Fi to play online? And the real answer that he gave that, I'm just going to put in plain speak for you is, yes, you need Wi-Fi initially to download the games. Mm-hmm. But supposedly after it's downloaded, you can play it offline. You're going to miss out on features like the daily spins and whatever extra stuff is there if you're not online. But the game should be playable. We weren't aware they weren't playable. And what actually happened is I saw the video. I reached out to Cyrus and said, Cyrus, you need to watch this. And then he said, explain it to me. And I explained it to them. They went to Q&A and they're actually fixing it. There's a bug. They weren't aware that it was unplayable offline. And you're going to get a fix in it, but there's no ETA right now. If Cyrus had just said that, he would have said, hey, good job, Cyrus.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
which is actually
right, 'cause he tried to. I mean, like I said, he tried to answer it, and then you walked away not knowing what the real answer was.
Yeah, and some of that is the way Cyrus explains things. The other thing you guys also have to understand, there's questions that they ask where it's like, when are we getting Qbert? And it's fun to ask that. I like to ask that. So it's on Arcade1Up's radar that, hey, if you're a home arcade company and you don't think you can do Qbert, close up shop now. It's one of the most popular games of all time.
Yeah.
But Cyrus can't answer that. Nobody can. Like these, especially in licensing, he can't talk about games that aren't official yet because it could screw it up.
Oh,
like
it has speeded it up before.
Yeah, we saw that with MK4, right? So.
And even like the splash screen, those get updated and changed because the licensor doesn't like the way the Pac-Man is moving. It's literally ridiculous. It makes no sense, like at all. But I feel like Arcade1Up sometimes has their hands handcuffed because it's really what the retailers want. You know, they could bring a double dragon cab and be like, "Hey, this is gonna be bomb. It's gonna sell." And the retailer looks at them and be like, "Yo, where's the Mortal Kombat?" And they're just like, "Oh, "Okay, I guess
that's exactly
so
what happened."
Here.
That's exactly what happened with Double Dragon.
Is like no new releases. You know, we haven't seen anything new in a long time. We saw Time Crisis, but we talked about that for like a year before that ever came.
The form
we're not hearing
factors.
anything.
But that's we're getting Deluxe and then XL. Like we can all live with that temporarily. But you're right. We're going to need something new. You know, after a few more XLs.
But that could be on the retailers too, where they come with a said cabinet. And throw out any title there, and the retailer's like, "Where's the Atari Star Wars? We just want that one."
Imagine like New Wave Toys redoing their cabinets over and over again, the same games, just doing a different design.
They would never do that. We talked about that. We were trying to convince them to do.
New Wave Toys is New Wave Toys selling to a retailer, or are they just selling direct?
See, there's a difference, right? Like it's apples and oranges. New Wave Toys is like direct to consumer. Arcade1Up is like the only way this works is if we work through retailers. So. It's a different model, right? I did want to bring this up. And the other thing, too, are people like, why can't Cyrus just tell us the games that are coming out? Because he'll get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus. So I will tell this, like, Biggie D, I will answer this question. I did have questions lined up asking about next year because I've been told Arcade1Up have a huge lineup. And people are all saying Arcade1Up are done. They're a dying company. They got a pile of releases coming next year. So I said, let's talk about that because the difference between what happened with iArcade and people trying to create this narrative that Arcade1Up's going out of business now is iArcade came out and said, we're not making any more cabinets. And then people are like, clock's ticking, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, what they're doing is really smart for them because it's going to make them a lot of money. It's very low risk. But for us, we're, selfish. We want what we want.
Right. So what my question was, is it went from, are you done making cabinets for 2023? And then asking questions about 2024. And they were told from marketing, we don't want to talk about that yet. And that's fair because we're the same people that if they came out and said, we got a bunch of stuff coming in 2024, we'd be like, and they're idiots. They're telling us about these new cabs. They haven't even sold their old cabs yet. And that's kind of where it was. Marketing came down and said, we don't want to talk about 2024 yet.
Yeah, so got some new Deluxe coming out.
Yeah.
Talking about being at retailers, they're everywhere now. There's probably like 12, 14 retailers they work with.
Jason, my wonderful moderator, who's supposed to be at Back to the Future tonight. What are you doing, Jason? Totally dodged the question on Sega, Konami, Taito, and Data just stating his relationship with all is great. But they want COVID-era sales, and Arcade1Up admits they can't do that anymore. That is true. I mean, the world has changed. Like Arcade1Up a couple of years ago, we know when people were home with COVID, it was the same thing for me. I didn't leave the house for like 3 months. I had tons of expendable income. I was like, I'm building an arcade in my basement. Not everybody's like that anymore because people are like, well, I got to take my daughter to 15 events now and I don't have any money. So they're not selling as well. So maybe there is some truth to that with the licensors that maybe there's a big price difference between what they expect to get in return for their license compared to what Arcade1Up can realistically deliver with the sales today.
Yeah, I think we all know what's going to be the next new release. It's probably Robotron Smash TV. That'll probably be early next year, like February, March.
But I don't know if that's a safe bet because honestly, that's not a retailer favorable game. Like if they were to do that, that might be a direct consumer.
Yeah. And we haven't seen a direct for a consumer in a minute since Dragon's Lair, and that went.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
right.
went back to the retailer. So I think Arcade1Up would kind of be hesitant to doing something like that again because it's all about making money. It's not about losing money. Like they lost a ton of money, I guess, in Blitz, and it's just they don't want to make those same mistakes because you make too many of those mistakes, you might end up out of a job kind of thing. No company, no more kind of thing. So definitely you want to play your safe bets, and it stinks that like it's a catch-22 because you're selling to the retailer because they're your biggest advocate and buyer, but then it also hinders you because you can't get those titles. You don't think for 10 seconds Arcade1Up wants to come out with a Sega Jurassic Park shooter or a Sega Star Wars trilogy, even though they cost a lot of money to produce. They know they would sell out in a heartbeat. It's just getting the consumer to buy in. I should just go right up to the top at my job and just get in contact with whoever buys this stuff and say, look, do it. And this is why.
Do you have that kind of power, Danny? Like, are you
yet
nostalgic?
again, do you want a $20 bill?
Mike B, you miss every shot that you don't take. So if
That's
I
true.
send an email, let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
true.
definitely think they need to upgrade their hardware so they can do better games. Like what Danny was just saying, Jurassic Park would sell out in an instant, if they made it. They just don't have the hardware to do that right now, and they need to focus on that.
100%. I mean, like there's things that we don't know. Like I'm always trying to find these out, and I try to mention these, and other people do too. That like for one, like people are talking about like, oh, House of the Dead, and one, can Arcade1Up's current hardware even run it? Probably not. Two, here's the thing: Arcade1Up just can't go and get like these emulators off the internet and throw those on their cabs. They did that the first year they were open. They can't do it anymore. They got to buy commercial emulators. So it all depends on whether or not commercial emulators exist. And like then, if commercial emulators don't exist, they're doing stuff like they did with Blitz, which Blitz isn't an emulated game. Blitz is a remade game basically. So is weird ways they got to do it, right? So hardware is one. With the prevalence of the rock chips now, and with like a lot of these chip shortages being out, we should see them be able to upscale and do some more advanced games. But from a business perspective, maybe the best thing to do is go back to the 80s because they're low mileage, like their hardware can run it, low development cost, and honestly, people will buy that shit. Yeah.
I mean, we're still getting a rumored 80s cap. I mean, they didn't say we weren't. I mean, it could happen early next year, right?
Well, you might be right, Biggie D. Like, I'm still skeptical because I think it would be a hard sell at retail, but maybe that was Robotron. I don't know. And it seems like
Travis has that data from that email they sent out, the marketing email asking, which one would you like to see in 2024?
Right.
I mean,
third,
if they were smart,
Robotron
they
came
would
up.
just do whatever's number one on that list.
Yeah.
Mike B, do you know the results of that? Are you able to share that?
The only thing I was told is Robotron did really well. They were surprised at the response Robotron specifically do. And I laughed and I was like, guys, I've been campaigning for like 2 years.
Hey guys, just out of curiosity, what did everyone vote? Bill, start with you. What did you vote?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't remember.
I got
probably Robotron because I would love to see that.
And then Mike B, I mean
Robotron. You don't need to ask.
Yeah,
I got
Robotron.
You guys really all voted Robotron? That's insane.
So, yeah.
I put Sega Star Wars trilogy, man.
Phil, what did you vote?
I didn't vote.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
You couldn't pick one.
Guys, if you're ever at a bar and Stock Jock comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, why don't we play Robotron for money?" Don't take him up on
it.
He's
is this Michael?
really good.
Is this the one you had, Mike? On your was it one of your questions?
What?
Because I think I picked Smash TV. Was Smash an option?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you could pick whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
It was fill in the blank.
It was
goddamn Smash.
Mine was.
You know,
it's the artwork on Smash. It's the Running Man.
So Smash might be the right choice there. The Hurt wants what the Hurt wants. Obviously, I want the Robotron Hurt. It's one of the most iconic and important arcade cabinets of all time, in my opinion. But it probably does make more sense for it to be Smash because it's also going to be a 2-player game. So it's a lot like Burger Time, where your Burger Time stick should be dead center, right?
Right.
Like, can you imagine buying a Pac-Man where the stick's over on the left side?
Yeah.
Pac-Man's got to have the stick center too. So Robotron, you really want your twin sticks in the center, but it's not going to be like that because it's also going to have Smash TV, probably Total Carnage. So maybe it should be Smash TV because the art would make more sense on it with the two.
Aren't you excited to play Total Carnage though? I mean, we're kind of like
such a good looking
that's
cabinet.
a fun game.
They have to do both.
I threw this out there to like Travis. I said, what if they did the deluxe in Smash TV and then they reskinned it a year later and did Robotron in the XL? I think that would satisfy both parties. I think that might be a good idea. Even though the sticks, I get that. I said
XL
they
first.
could look. They could even go so far as to do a one of those retailer onlys. Go to Shop Hippo and do a Robotron
like
Shop
a
Hippo
Robotron.
version.
Yeah.
Why not?
100%.
Biggie had a good. You had a good thing. They've never made an XL first. You told me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
They've
should
always
start with the XL for once.
Never
See
will.
what happens.
No, they never will. Yeah.
No.
They're a 3/4 scale company. Everything will come out in 3/4 scale first. Anyways,
and he said how it does is then they'll give us an XL if it does good.
Yeah, it has to like prove itself. Like Pac-Man, obviously is their best seller, so they're going to do XL. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat are probably next for XL.
Well, if you guys have any business training, let's call a spade here. Pac-Man's their cash cow. They're like, we need money quick. Let's put a Pac-Man out.
Right.
Yeah. So I do want to go back, Bill, and like I do want to take some of the heat off Cyrus because like he's a good dude, but like we have to understand some things are out of his control. But the question is there any value to asking questions if we can't get answers? And that's what we have to figure out if we're going to continue to do one update and how we do it. How do we get more value for the community? Because if not, there's no point in doing this. I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm doing it because I think that we can do things better. But if we're not adding any value,
maybe it was on Bill's comments from that video, but some person said they need to do pre-recorded and make like the production value much higher.
I've said that before, especially when it comes to their product launches. Like I really like what Pinball FX does. I like the pinball show with Bence and Akos. I like the Pinball Bites they call it now. I liked the pinball show they were doing before. I think Arcade1Up would probably be better suited if they did a lot of their stuff in-house, not live stream, and put it out there. But if they're going to do live stream, I mean, it is what it is. I think there's some value to it. Like when they come out with a new product, like say in January when they announced Qbert XL, which is coming out. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. But say they announce a new product. I like the idea that there's an interactive segment where people can ask questions right away about it, where you can get information. And with Arcade1Up Update, I've always said this because I used to review them myself. I don't think it's something that needs to happen every month. I think maybe it might be better if it was responsive. Like if there is community issues, let's come out and talk about it and give people the answers and be outward about it. Or what Travis did. What Travis did on the last show made sense.
Yes.
If the show's called Arcade1 Update, if there's updates to the cabs, come out and publicly talk about them. So like the Killer Instinct spectate mode, great announcement. That was excellent. That should have been done. All that stuff was valuable. But I think the Q&A, unfortunately, where you're not getting any answers, probably didn't add any value. So, Bill, I 100% agree with you. Usually when I see these videos and they're just like wasted time, I'm like, oh, God, I don't need to be negative today. I'm going to watch this. I don't watch shit like that, right?
I heard you guys talking last night.
I didn't do it to be...
I know.
I didn't do it to be negative. It was honest criticism because I do want to see them obviously get better. And I agree with you totally. Do them when you have some real things to talk about. And again, I kind of said this in the video, but it does almost become a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't take questions, then you're not listening to the community. But if you do and you don't answer them, what's the point? So, got to figure that out.
So, Fago Thug, people are going to debate this all the time.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm not getting anything from it. In fact, it's been quite the taxing process on me because I've been harassed nonstop online by certain people about doing it, assuming I'm now an employee and stuff. No, I'm not. I got the Pac-Man cabinet back there for review. You can debate whether or not that is payment or something like that if you get cabs for review. But lots of people get cabs for review for lots of different products. So if you say, I'm getting paid for getting a review cab, draw a straight line across the sand that every single person that ever got a review cab is now an employee of that company. So that's what I'll say to you. No, I'm not getting paid. I don't have a contract. If I don't want to do it anymore, I won't. It's that simple.
But I remember hearing you guys talk last night on Super Game Room Dudes about the Jersey Jacks, Elton John promotion video that they put out and how good a quality it was. And I felt exactly like P-Dubs did when I saw it. So when hearing him talking about it last night, I was like totally connected with that because I felt the same way. If Arcade1Up could somehow do a promotion video like that with their products, it would do wonders for them.
100%. And sometimes they do. They do their sizzle reel videos like with Elton John for the product announcements. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. I don't know if it was budget cuts, but I mean, call a spade, like the weird TV style videos they did with Nicole and Cyrus this past year. You're looking at it and you're like, what the hell is this? So
yeah, Nicole looks like she'd rather be anywhere else.
Like the Fast and the Furious and the MK2 Deluxe were decent videos, like decent. There was some like quirky stuff in there, but they were okay. They got way worse when they started going to the 80s and like that weird filter and all that.
All right. So anyways, I did want to talk about that. So hopefully, if we continue to do this, I think that we're going to do a show in November. And I'm hoping that it's going to be like a precursor to some of the Black Friday sales that are going on, because I think that's super valuable. I think people will really enjoy that. You can get a heads up on what cabs are going on sale where. A lot of value to that. Hopefully that's what they do with the next show. So
yeah, I'm looking to get a Yoga Flame for like $300, $250. I think those are going to be a big deal around Black Friday.
It makes sense. I mean, the new Street Fighter
very much worth it at that price if you can.
I mean, guys, if they can sell 2 Deluxe for $399, why can't they all be $399 for Black Friday?
With
these move, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, just imagine that though. If you get MK2,
that would be a good idea.
I love that price point 100%. I think that's if Arcade1Up was selling their cabs at $399, the deluxe cabs, I think they'd have a lot of happy people. They'd move a lot of cabinets. But I don't know what it is. They can't. And I asked that question about the $399 sale, and they were like, "That wasn't us. That was the retailer. It was a tie-in with Amazon."
That had to have moved a lot, though. Think about it. They must have sold a ton. I mean, I got Street Fighter 2.
I bought Street Fighter 2. I've been waiting. I've been saving money. I've been waiting all year. I want to get the class of 81, which I still think at some point I'm going to get. But as soon as that Street Fighter came up at $399, I was like, nope, I'm buying it. Got to have it.
So moving on from there, let's talk about Street Fighter 2. So this is interesting. And Biggie, I'm glad you're here for this because you put out a post that the first 2,000 we're going to have the off-color deck. And I was like, where is he getting this information? Where's this coming from? Because like I even asked Cyrus, I was like, is this happening and stuff like that? I won't ask you to ask your source. But like we were like, where is this coming from and stuff like that? So they did come out and they are discolored, but it's like minuscule. There's nothing to it. But they're all going to look like that now. So just give me your take on that and like what you think of the deck. And we'll ask Phil about it because Phil's here and he's got one. Did anybody else get you got one as well, Corner Cade, and Bill, you got one. Do you have yours built now, Bill?
Yes.
So like you saw it in person. It's off color, but it's not what it was.
I didn't even notice it, guys.
I can't even point out the video, to be honest with you. I really can't even tell.
That is whenever I got the information, that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I think that information had changed and I didn't get, that
updated info
from them. So I was way off on it. And I never actually specifically said how bad the discoloration was. So actually what I gave was factual because it is discolored. And I think there is a better version out there. I've seen some that look almost perfect. Yeah. And then there's some that is off quite a bit to the eye, if you were to really look. And so everything was factual. It was just overblown and it was exaggerated because, it didn't end up happening that way, the way I made it sound. And that was just because I had old information on that. But it was factual.
All right. So we're going to
hang on. Can I just say something?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'm glad you put that one up there. So Fago, I'm going to say this. I have never gotten a review cabinet specifically from Arcade1Up, but I've gotten several from New Wave Toys. Do I work for them?
No. So anybody here in the chat right now that's ever got a review product or has one coming, raise your hand. Danny. There you go. So, there you go.
Guys, I'll just speak upon it as like a newer content creator scene. I want all the product. I want to do all the reviews because it helps. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I want apparel. Give it all to me. I actually reached out to New Wave Toys, never got an email back. I'm trying to grow our brand. How would I, putting on a resume, worked with New Wave Toys, AtGames, Arcade1Up. I mean, that's beautiful. Like, why wouldn't you want that? That means you've made it as a content creator. It's
nothing wrong with their opinions. Here's the crazy thing. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. If someone gets something as a product for review, they can choose whether or not they want to listen to that person and their opinion. That's fine. That's what they're entitled to. All we as YouTubers have to do is say, got this product for free for review. And then they've got to make their choice on whether or not they believe what we say. They're adults. No one's fooling anybody here. The problem is if we don't say it. That's what I don't like, because it's the simplest thing in the world. You just say, I got this product for review, and then you're good.
Yeah, I've never gotten anything for review, but I don't think I've done the legwork and like the networking to make it happen. You know, you actually have to reach out to these people. I also did the sign up for New Wave Toys like Danny did. I never heard back, but when I spoke to them in Cleveland, it was much different. You know, I was networking and, that could happen if I continue to work on that. I just haven't.
It's not just networking. I will tell you that, because there's a misconception out there that, like right now, Travis right now is overseeing that process for Arcade1Up. So Travis is the person that's helping Arcade1Up say, this YouTuber will be good for this YouTuber will be good for that. And I think New Wave Toys have a better process, to be honest, where New Wave Toys is like, sign up to our website and we'll consider adding you to our list of people we send stuff to. So I would rather see that. But there's a concept like, you got to be friends with Travis now. No, I can tell you, PD7, how much work did you do to get your review unit?
I bought about 25 Arcade1Up.
No, not what you bought. Not what you bought. But did you have to contact anybody and ask for anything?
No.
What happened?
I was contacted, and it was a yes or no.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
nothing else.
Yeah.
That's usually how this stuff goes. Like, now there are some people that like do reach out to companies and say like, hey, my name's Nostalgia. I got like 40,000 subscribers. Will you send me free stuff? There's guys like that.
Yeah.
So I just want to clear that up.
Yeah. And it's funny sometimes how it works. I will tell you, I'm on the list for Andstream Arcade. And I had they have similar to New Wave Toys. They have a list you can sign up for and they'll consider. And I had done that a while back and never heard back. Then I did a video when Andstream Arcade went to Xbox and it got 10,000 views. Next thing I know, hey, we'd like to add you to our list. So you'd be surprised.
Anyways, moving on from that process, because it doesn't matter. Some people are just gonna be like, doesn't matter, you're shit for getting review products. That's fine. That's your opinion, man. Enjoy your life. So let's continue. So with the Street Fighter PD7, you got it. And Biggie, I think you're right. Like, I think your information was right. It's still discolored. I just don't think it was as bad as it was, and I don't want to throw you under the bus about it. But other people in the community took what you said and went wild with it and been like, all the decks are yellow as hell. Arcade1Up screws up again.
Yeah, and I guess that's one different aspect about my channel is like, I'm not going to hold back. If I have a gut feeling on something or if I have information, I'm going to give it. And I think I'm a source for that. People will come and watch for that reason. So there is something to be said about not having review units and just speaking your mind and telling what you think, because people will look for that and they'll listen, they'll engage. So it's been good. I'm going to continue to do it. And I went out on a limb with the MK. I was the only one who made a video on it. And
that's because we didn't want to spoil the surprise.
Yeah.
And I was talking to P-Dubs and he was like, what's going on with this? And I was like, yeah, he's right. They're going to announce Spectate on Friday.
Yeah. And, a lot of people won't want to do that because they're like, well, what if Travis changes his mind and he delays it? Makes me look bad. Well, I'm still going to do that stuff, even if I know that could happen.
So I want to ask you this. So P-Dubs told me this. P-Dubs said Travis won't come on your show. And I was like, what? Travis won't come on his show.
Yeah, I
Have
contacted
you ever
him twice. No response.
How did you contact him? Because
Facebook, because you told me to message him on Facebook. And
I
did.
told you?
Yeah, you told me to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he never got a message from you. So, anyways, I might rectify that and see what I can do about that. But there was another comment you said, like he wasn't going to announce it on Friday because you were like, I could see that he didn't really want to do it.
Yeah,
I was trying to actually delay it. I was annoyed because everybody was in the chat and everybody was saying just announce MK and end the show. And I was like, I'm gonna screw with them. I'm gonna try to make it look like we're ending the show and not announcing MK. And then Travis just announced it, and I was like, you son of a bitch! You're not letting me have my fun.
Yeah, they really needed that news out there. It's like they could delay it, but should they? I mean, it would have just. They need some excitement right now, especially going into the holiday season and Black Friday right around the corner. We want to know that they're working on stuff.
Yeah,
that's a good way to sell Mortal Kombat cabs right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time.
If they did an XL, what skin would you just for fun? What's
MK2?
I want MK1.
Johnny Cage on the side.
Ultimate.
You're never going to get that.
That would be cool.
That's
just
not
saying.
Gonna happen.
You asked. I didn't say what was the possibility. That's what I want. Real quick, I don't want to get off topic, but I saw that Mike Hawkhurst put in the chat a little bit ago.
What'd you say? Can you say that name again?
Mike Hawkhurst.
Just really slowly.
Mike Hawkhurst. He put in the chat that he didn't get his Arcade1Up t-shirt. Mike, if you want to email thecornercade@gmail.com, I'm going to forward your information to Travis. You just hit me up. We're going to get you that t-shirt. I don't want you to feel like you were SOL on that. So we'll get that t-shirt.
Steps Gaming was saying she didn't get her t-shirt either.
Yeah, Steps is a bit of a different situation because that was a John D giveaway. And now John D doesn't work there anymore. But Danny, do you want to reach out to Travis about that too? He likes you more than me. So you reach out to him and see if you can get Steps.
Just throwing it out there. Travis is like one of my best friends. Our kids call him Papa, for crying out loud. Like, I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, he's always on your show. Yeah, he's like a co-host of our show, our Chillin' Chat. He's been like 8 of 13 episodes. So yeah.
You want to know what? You want to know what's funny? I was talking to Travis earlier, and he was like, "What is this stuff about Biggie D saying I didn't want to go on a show?" He was like, "I'm going to tell you the truth. He may have asked me before, and I accidentally went on Cornercade show because I didn't know that Cornercade wasn't Biggie D. I got the two confused." I love Travis. I'm glad that you guys are getting along, Danny. That's awesome. But mention to him about Steps. You might have better luck with it than me, and I'm very forgetful. Okay. So Steps was supposed to get a shirt. I think she won that either on P-Dub's stream or Super Game Room Dude's stream. And John gave it away, but she never ended up getting it. So if you could get Steps Arcade1Up shirt as well, that'd be great.
Can we all get Arcade1Up shirts?
Yeah. Hey, no, yeah, I've been trying for years.
Speaking of shirts,
so stingy.
Speaking of shirts, our guy in the community, Ezekiel the Retro Ranger, is making my wife and I some Arcade1Up gear that you guys have, and I was literally going bananas. Like, yes, we're gonna get all that stuff. I am like, the smile won't get off my face, and I'm gonna wear it every stream. I don't care how bad it smells. I love it.
Why wouldn't you wash it? You can wash clothes.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm gonna sleep with it on there. I'm gonna have the hat backwards finally. I think you make it when you put the hat backwards.
It's like a sports superstition. You can't watch them, or the stream will just die.
Exactly. We won't get Smash TV or Robotron coming out.
So, very quickly, I just go back to Biggie D. I applaud you for doing that. Always speak your mind. A lot of us do, and that's the thing. It's cool to give constructive feedback. That's what we all try to do. People are like, you're not hard enough on it and stuff like that. Not everybody hates the product like other people do, but we are going to point out screens bad, controls bad, stuff like that, because it's constructive feedback because you want the products to be better. You want your experience to be better, and you hope that's better for everybody else as well. So, keep doing what you're doing, Biggie D. Don't change, but Travis doesn't have any issue with you, and I'm going to see if I can get him to come on your show.
To me, it looked like he just didn't respond. I'll send you a screenshot so you can see it.
No.
It sounds like it was a miscommunication. So
miscommunication. So we'll get you and Travis connected, and we'll get that straightened out because no issue. So don't worry about it. All right, next up, PD7. Travis has got now. You. I'm not the mayor. I'm the city comptroller. Anyways, so here we go. moving on from there, we talked about the Street Fighter deck. We talked about the Casino Cade. Is there anything else going on with Arcade1Up? I talked about the Arcade1Up update. Next year, one thing I can say is they said they have a massive line of products coming out next year. So they didn't say what it was, but we're talking like much bigger than what 2023 was, much bigger than what 2022 was.
I mean,
so,
if you look at 2023, guys, I mean, we got 11 Deluxe this year. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It doesn't
I know
seem
they're
like
all
that
like,
much because we've already had these cabs before in different forms.
I know,
but
but
it is a lot.
They're getting closer to, look at behind Mike. I mean, they look like real arcades behind you. And look how high KI is. Like, I never knew that KI Pro is higher than Shaq.
Yeah,
That's a big cab.
Big.
Ooh, here's a, like, I don't love this because I want to play in the actual arcade format and stuff like that, but apparently the Defender Partycade actually came with USB ports. You can plug a controller in. Is this an option you would like to see on Arcade1Up cabs going next year?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, if you have a 4-player game on a 2-player deck, play 4
It takes away from that arcade experience. The same thing with the retro shooter kit. I mean, you can plug in a controller to Terminator 2, but do you want to stand in front of Danny, do you want to stand in front of one with a Xbox controller? I want the joysticks and buttons.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with options. I have no problem with them including it for the people who want that, right?
Yeah, don't raise the price of it.
It's a USB port. Either you plug something into it or you don't. But like you said, options.
Yeah,
I mean,
options
we're
are
talking
okay.
options.
Too,
Where's our HDMI out?
Yeah, and that's the other big one too. HDMI out from these cabs is something that I think we're at the point, especially where, we're getting spectate mode on MK. We're getting spectate mode, Marvel versus Capcom 2, the Capcom cabs. We really need a good way for, if we are going to have an online fighting community, in order for us to put this stuff on the PC in the best possible quality we can. So I think an HDMI
think about
out
how many
port
people would be streaming their Arcade1Ups on YouTube and on Twitch and all that too as well. It would help.
Yeah, I think you're going to see more like app integration, and this is something that I spoke upon right when the app came out, actually. That like, hey, let's do this, that, and the other. I shouldn't have to go to Discord and Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram just to get into a tournament. I should go to Arcade1Up app. The chat's in there. The brackets are in there. Everything is in there ready to go. So really, you wouldn't need HDMI out. Plus, that would raise the price of the cabs, and that's something that we don't want to do. Specifically, you want to stay at that $399 price point.
A lot of people buy Arcade1Up for the convenience of everything. So especially like a tournament, you want to make it super convenient because that's your customer.
Yeah.
So, Mike Hurts, it would make Paperboy playable on the MK cab. My vote still take it off the goddamn cab.
Yeah, where are you going to mount the wheel? Are you just going to put like a stool in front of the cab and just race?
Oh, no, I'm sure Buy Stuff Store will sell a mount and stuff like that.
Oh, there you go,
Look, they already have a mount for Glenn's yoke. Why not?
Yeah.
That flight yoke plays great.
All right, so a lot of products coming out.
Love's video today on his Buy Stuff mod he did for his Star Wars. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Like, for the people that mod this stuff and want to put like hundreds of games on it, there's so many cool features. And Detroit Love was like that right from the beginning, because he was like, hey guys, I got a Galaga and I got, I forget what the other cab was, a Street Fighter. And he said, I modded them for vertical and horizontal games. I'm good. I'm not going to buy anymore. And then he still bought like hundreds more. Where was it? Fago had a good comment here earlier. I'm trying to see it. We're talking multiple iterations of Pac-Man. That might be true. They might have hundreds of cabs coming out next year.
We already know they got Miss Pac-Man Deluxe coming, and there's going to probably be Dig Dug, and they'll do all those.
Yeah, that's possible. 100% possible. I'm not doubting that. I don't think we're talking about 50% of them are going to be Pac-Man, but yes, Pac-Man's going to come out every year. It's their cash cow. $5 super chat from Nicholas Diorio. Imagine a hybrid deck for 4-player machines that can be condensed cleanly into 2-player with a USB. We live in a post-deck protector world now. I almost read that wrong.
Gotta protect your deck. Not having a deck protector, even if the stuff is rubless or rub resistant.
Yeah, I'm
knows
curious
Bill, what do
to
you
see how
think
well it's going to last over time.
6 month review. You guys who got the Street Fighter, get ready to do your 6 month and 1 month review update videos.
And the Big Buck, Danny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I
the
guess
big
they're
buck,
all going to have no deck protectors now.
Yeah, the big buck doesn't have a deck protector. That technically was the first cab without a deck protector. It's actually right here.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal. Like the art quality on it is just it's where it needs to be at. It's where it should have been at. And the feel of it too. Yeah, the marquee. Yeah,
that's
marquee on the screen. But on the Street Fighter cab, like just placing your hand not on plastic, but placing it on an actual deck, it feels so much better. And again, we'll have to wait and see 6 months from now. But if they stress test this at like Miami Dolphins Stadium, the corner case is going to be fine. You know, it's just
So my wife always told me it always feels better when you don't have that layer of protection on. I didn't know really what she was talking about.
Now it's all coming together, right?
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how it holds up. I mean, I think the stress test would be throw them in Walmarts for 6-7 months and see what happens, because that's what happened with the first. That's how we got the deck protectors in the first place, because they put the demo models out in Walmart, and then 2 months later, they were seeing pictures of Street Fighter where the decks were all like white, just
it's coming off quick too.
Yeah, it was just flying off. I actually still have downstairs, because I'm a bit of a hoarder, I've got a bunch of the covers they sent out with the deck protectors. So, like, I got a Centipede cardboard cover that was supposed to go under the deck protector. Street Fighter, a couple other ones too. It's so weird to look back on that now.
You guys have any of your Gen 1s, Gen 2s still? I still have my Final Fight, and I played it today, actually.
Love Final Fight. I wish I still had it. Nerd Lounge Master, you got any of the older cabs?
Mm-hmm.
What ones you got?
Still have the Final Fight, which I still need the PCB for. Street Fighter. Still have the Street Fighter Gen 1.
The original.
Yeah.
With the wonky sound. Where
with the wonky sound,
on the game deck.
Yeah. Have a Centipede. And even though the roller doesn't work very well, I still have that as well. So
get Glenn's trackball. Like, you won't regret it. Get Glenn's trackball for the Centipede.
And what do you think of Blitz, Todd? I never followed up with you after Cleveland about this.
Still haven't built it.
Wow.
I mean, you guys want to come over and help me build Blitz, because I mean that's where we're at, right?
I was disappointed how small that is. I finally got a chance to play it because our company at work bought one for the break room, and it's tiny. Especially with the 4-player game deck, it just makes it look smaller.
All the 4-player cabs have been like that constantly. I think going forward in 2024, and this is a do if you dare, damned if you don't, but Arcade1Up may consider finally looking at condensing some of the 4-player cabs down to 2-player. There's been a lot of comments about that in the community. People with very little room in their arcades. It's so hard to justify punching in a 4-player cabinet because they have the real estate.
Thank you.
But
so
it's
they
perfect
made a 2-player
for
Blitz,
a 2-player.
So they would still be doing an alternate thing if they did that.
I will say this, though. They did start raising. So NBA Jam is now 63 inches, the height of Street Fighter. But yeah, Biggie, for someone like you would almost have to have XL, because you're 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
Even higher than that, both of you guys. I mean, I've met.
Well, no,
both of you.
I'm only 6 foot. I'm not playing in the NBA. Like, this is fine for me.
A good height for me is like the ALU on a 5-inch buy stuff riser with 3-inch furniture risers under that. That's the perfect size for me.
So every time you buy a cab, you almost got to buy like all the accessories to it. So the price starts to add up. That's just insane.
Risers and everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do more XLs, less deluxe, and I think that's the way forward.
Yeah, that's that would be cool with the 2 players. I mean, I had to get rid of all my Konami classics, and it sucks, but they were all 4 players, so I had 3 of those, obviously, right? So I could fit 6 2-player in there. It's like it's a no-brainer. Like, I'm gonna put more games, more better. That's the motto here. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mike, are you having audio problems? Yeah, there you go. I knew something went with Mike, but
yeah, they definitely need to consider doing those 2-player game decks. I see a lot of people out there upgrading theirs from the 4-player to the 2-player, and then when you see that happening,
it looks cool. It's like, that's fine, because then you can put them in rows, smash them together. They just look goofy when you got 2 4-players next to each other. There's so much space in between. It's like, what a wasted opportunity. You could have fit an arcade in there, So
yeah, so
it's tough.
One last thing I do want to talk about, because we're going really long. I didn't intend it to go this long, but you guys know me. I can't shut up. I keep going, so I can't help myself. And it's fun to talk about this stupid stuff. But Paul Minderman, he's got some interesting thoughts recently. Paul,
is it Minderman or is it Minduman?
I always keep calling him Minderman, but you're right. It is. It's Minderman.
Yep.
Minderman.
He pronounced it to me. He like spelled it out. I'm like, yes, that's it. It's Minda. Like duh.
Yeah.
Min.
So I know Paul is no R. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Paul. No R. Like Super Game Room dudes. No nostalgia. So
I was thinking about nostalgia today. I was like, man, he's got a ton of subscribers, and like he never puts out videos, but he did finally put one out. I saw.
Yeah, so YouTube's weird. There's different ways to grow your channel, and Nostalgia does a lot of what's called evergreen content, right? So Nostalgia makes these videos on how to mod the PlayStation Classic. And like, honestly, those videos are just like constantly getting views, constantly getting subscribers, because people are like, I want to mod my PlayStation Classic. So as much as Nostalgia doesn't make videos, he made a pile of videos that are super useful tutorial type videos that people are always going to come back to. Yeah. Will they make a 720 cab? So this was on the list for last year. I know John D was pushing for this pretty hard. Like John D really championed for a 720. I don't know if they should make a 720.
It's a very odd design.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird design. It is cool AF, but like what else goes on it? I don't know if 720 is like such a hot idea. Thank you for the super chat. Don't mean to crush dreams there, but anyways,
cabinets that fit into the home, I think, are good sellers. You know, like the new Street Fighter with the black. It doesn't look that great to some people, but it actually fits in really good in the home.
I love that cab. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not getting it here in Canada, and it looks so badass.
Yeah, like
you just did a review, PD7. Tell us about it.
I think it's their best cab yet for the Street Fighter 2, and I have 3 of them. And we all know the game. We all know the games list. It's the same 14 we got with Yoga and Shinku, but that control. When I put that piece together, I mean, Bill, Danny, when you did that, I mean, and you saw that angle on there, it's just like this is the best controller yet.
Oh yeah, it awesome. Does feel really nice.
Yeah, I will say this. When we did our live unboxing and obviously review of it, I think everything is beautiful on it. I think we're at the point now, especially at that price point, if we could get it to $399, I think if we could just upgrade the buttons and the sticks, Arcade1Up is there. Like, the complaints are done. Like, that's just my opinion for the deluxe line.
But you could do that. You could do that yourself. We could change out the buttons.
No, you shouldn't have to do any of that. I shouldn't have to buy.
Give us the cabinet.
No.
$399 and we're fine.
I shouldn't have to. No. I should not. Okay, it'd be like going to the dealership, getting your brand new 2024 car. Oh, you just got to upgrade the steering wheel and put actual tires on it. It's like, no, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm paying everything for this.
I agree with that.
Like Stern, you have the premium and the pro. They need to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea behind, I don't want to use the word peasant, but the classic they're calling them. So the Walmart editions that don't have the lit up marquee, that don't have the riser. So the idea is to have different price points. So 19K Fox is pretty on the money with what they're doing here. So they do the classic Walmart version, which is your $299, a little bit above that. Which is the RGT85 version, I call them. No riser, no light up marquee. And then you move on to your deluxe models, which I wish were $399. I mean, that's my favorite price point for it. I think there wouldn't be half as much venom and negativity in the community if they could get it down to that price point. But they're going to be $499 and up, depending on what features are there. And then you get your XL cabs, which I hope they stick around $599 because that's a really good price point for that.
Yeah.
Considering last year was $699.
It's a deluxe, and it's $750.
I don't know.
But that wasn't Arcade1Up didn't want that price to be that way. Shop Hippo said we're gonna price it at this, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said
Walmart is selling it for $749 too, and then you throw in the sales tax. There's no tax.
Oh, this was the other one. So in Canada, like when someone sells through Walmart and they're a third-party seller or a different company, we see it. Do you guys see that in the US? Because Travis came out and talked about this, and he's like, yes, Walmart does have the Time Crisis cabs, but they're actually coming from Shop Hippo. The port data shows they went directly to Shop Hippo. So those are still Shop Hippo cabs, even though they're being sold through Walmart. And I didn't know if like it's a third-party seller or they can sell them direct, how it works. But like the only cabs that came into the port went to Shop Hippo.
Walmart, because they say sold and shipped by Walmart, which means
Yeah.
Walmart now owns them. They're selling.
And here's the thing: is you can get it faster
Through
at
Walmart.
Walmart. Like this is the problem with pre-ordering.
It happens every release.
I'm never pre-ordering again, guys. Like you don't have to do this.
Paul Mindeman, you
hearing
can,
it from the man himself. He
you can highlight that comment.
He's never done it.
Very quickly before we go on to the XL cabs, 720 Eric says Cyrus confirmed yes on 720, and I'm going to call bullshit on that because I've never seen Cyrus confirm anything.
Yeah, honestly, like he hasn't even confirmed Pac-Man.
Cyrus, will you do a Pac-Man next year? Well, you know, Pac-Man is the king of the arcades and Arcade1Up.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, Paul's 2 points. The XL cabs. Paul thinks just ditch everything else and go XL going forward. I love the XL
and
cabs.
The Classic have just those two.
Just those two? That's what you think?
Yeah. You got to have the Classic still, because the Walmart, having it on the shelf there where people can walk up to it.
It's huge.
And at that price point, you're going to get people buy that, and then they're going to go buy the bigger stuff later.
Yeah.
You give people choices. Like not all of us want an XL. Like you can get different sizes. They're making this for everybody.
Yeah. What about you, Nerd Lounge Master? What do you think?
I just don't see myself getting an XL, even though they're coming out with some really great. I just don't have the room. I have to, think about every purchase that I make now, and 3/4 what I like, and
I do like having the riser because it's easy to move.
But see, I've always been a fan of the riser, and I know not everybody has been a fan of the riser, but I love the riser.
So I just want to be clear. Paul's not saying get rid of everything else, and I misquoted him there. He's just saying the deluxe. He wants the deluxe gone. So 2 models, XL and Peasant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be the way forward. And then also what they need to be doing as well is offering the digital downloads where we can expand our already purchased arcades, get more games on them. And I heard that John D wanted that, and he was pushing for it. And I don't know if that's going to happen now.
I think I asked Cyrus this, and I don't know if we answered it on the show or not, but the answer I kind of got was if they ever did do a la carte, where you could add games, it would be very specific to the cabinet. The controls would have to make sense, and it would have to be the same licensor. You wouldn't be able to put a Capcom game on an Namco cab or anything like that.
A Marvel versus Capcom. Maybe get Street Fighter for that one, or the opposite.
Well, see, this is where licensing gets difficult. This is where it's hard because I don't know if that's even possible because, say, for example, you buy a Turtles cab. Nickelodeon don't want anything else on that cabinet that's not Ninja Turtles. So I don't know how they work around that shit. Because I asked that before.
They could probably do it, but it wouldn't be what you guys wanted to. So what's the point?
Well, AtGames is doing
we
it.
could just get a multi-cade for that reason.
Exactly.
Well, AtGames is a different product. They're a straight multi-cade, right? Where everything is a la carte. That's their model. So
with AtGames, part of the license is actually the look of the cab. That is part of the license.
With Arcade1Up, you mean?
With Arcade1Up, yes. Did I say AtGames? I meant
you said AtGames.
It's okay, though.
I meant
it must be
Arcade1Up.
possible though, because you heard John D speaking about it when he was still there. So it must be possible.
Or just get Terminator 2,
Possible-ish.
get the buy stuff mod, and get all those games on T2, and then just buy whatever cabinets you want.
So going back to XL cabs,
deck as well on that new Viper board.
Has anybody? I saw it at the convention, but I never really got a chance to play it yet. That's not out yet in people's hands, is it? The deck should be out pretty soon.
Production, it still hasn't shipped, but it is any day now, I think. And
but that just sits loose, doesn't it? That doesn't go into anything.
The Viper board?
Yeah. What's the one that was at the Cleveland?
Arcade.
Okay, so that one goes in the arcade. What's the one that was in Cleveland that you could turn the top of it?
Oh,
that's the Akari Warrior controller.
Yeah.
That's a separately self-contained thing. Now,
Right.
As far as the control decks that are for the iArcade, I watched a little bit of Glenn's show last night, and he did mention that they've actually shipped from China, so they're on their way here. He says in a couple of weeks, they should have them to be able to ship out to the people who've already pre-ordered them. So he's figuring early to mid-November, people should get the control decks. As far as his Viper board, he's still working on a few things. He's had some people testing it. They've had some concerns about it that he's trying to address. So that may take a little while to come out. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe early next year, worst case scenario.
And then his game deck will work with the mystery encoder board, the USB enabler, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so you could use that for now.
But the Viper's only for your Space Invader and mine, right? Like it's only gold.
Well, no, you could put it. I think you could probably use it in the original.
Is the Viper going to work on the gold?
But
that's
the question. Like that's our only option.
Yes,
right?
The Viper, because the mystery encoder does not work with the gold. So the
Couldn't
Viper
get it working.
Right.
specifically.
Do you need Glenn's deck to use the Viper?
That I don't know.
To use it? No, I don't think
I
you
don't
do.
think so.
No, it's just like any other Raspberry Pi or single board.
On the arcade, I mean.
Yeah, no, the thing about his deck is that he's going to have like a button built into it that lets you switch back and forth between the Viper and that's built-in iArcade, so you can keep what you have. Now, if you want to gut your iArcade and put the Viper in it and just do that,
that's exactly the question I'm asking. Because like that was one of the things I was like, it doesn't look like the mystery encoder board's going to get working. I don't really want the control deck. I love Glenn. I originally ordered it because I want to support Glenn, but like, I don't want all the extra stuff. I just want the Viper board, and I was trying to figure that out. Do I need his deck in order to do the switch back and forth?
I wouldn't put it past Glenn to have some kind of a button, an aftermarket button you could buy to just stick in your iArcade to do the switch anyway. So yeah, it's always a possibility.
All right. Anyways, XL cabs. So we're all saying this is the question I wanted to ask on that. Do you think Arcade1Up could ever do a tiered model like Stern? I think you mentioned it, Biggie, a couple minutes ago, where they come out with a release, track and field, and they're going to do a classic, a deluxe, and an XL, and release them all at the same time. Yeah, or are they then putting too much out there and maybe flooding the market with the same product?
I don't think so, because you're getting a lot of customers upset because they're buying the deluxe, then the XL comes and they're like, they just did that with Pac-Man Deluxe, and that upsets people. I think you're better off just releasing them all at the same time, giving everyone an option. Works for Stern, it should work for Arcade1Up.
But it hurt for the KI though. That really screwed that up. It's a catch-22.
Well, no, because they didn't release the Pro until after. It was like a week or two after, or something like that.
I know, but you knew about it. Like everyone's just like, what?
Like a bunch of people bought the 3/4 scale KI, didn't know there was going to be a Pro.
Yeah,
and that was a problem.
And then they were like, "Man, I'll just get the Pro." And then the Pro came out, and they were like, $1,000. I should have bought the 3/4.
But look,
and then they shot themselves in the foot by putting the 3/4 on like crazy sale right when the Pro came out. So it's like,
I got to be 100% honest.
Right at all.
KI is the next cab I have to sell because if we're going to keep this hobby going, something's got to go. The one behind you, Mike. That's
with that Nintendo logo on it.
Look at Mike's KI Pro. That's an arcade. That's not what we have in the 3/4 scale.
Yeah, I actually had someone offer me a KI Pro, still brand new, for $400, and I turned it down.
What's wrong with you? $1,100 for a $4,000
because it wasn't $199. He's like, I'm out.
$400 for a box Pro.
Jesus Christ!
You can't fool Biggie D.
Like you could have bought it and then resold it for like $500 or something.
I had a $200 Simpsons and I took it back, and I'm happy I did that because the color.
I remember that,
and it's 4-player.
You sat in the car, you debated. You went back in and returned it.
I had it in the car ready to drive home, and I never left the parking lot. I was like, I can't take this home.
What's that story P-Dubs told about you were getting the ALU and you lowballed the guy so much?
What was it?
I think I was asking like $250. Like, well, can you do $200? You're always looking for the deal.
It ended up working out. I got one brand new for $300 through VIP Outlet.
Nice.
And I'm really happy with the ALU.
Oh,
I
ALU
play
is
that
fantastic.
thing all the time.
Yeah.
It's like every day I'll turn it on. And I've been playing the games that come with it lately, like Centipede and Crystal Castles. And those games play really well. Bubble Bobble. And it loads up real quick, easy to load.
I remember when I did my review, when I first got my ALU 1.1, and everybody was like, there's no games on this. And I was like, there's literally 5 Arcade1Up cabinets in this machine.
Yeah. There's a bunch of games I'll probably never play, but just look for the trophy. And those are the good games.
Yeah. Sandman with a super chat here. Release all 3 at the same time. $2.99, $3.99, $5.99. I wish.
Yeah.
I wish that $4.99 was at $3.99. I think
those are great price points.
Yeah.
And then if they dropped to $1.99 at Walmart, so the peasant versions, if they did have the sale, like, could you imagine?
And then Biggie D would be like,
up?
I'm gonna wait for $36.
I think I can talk the manager down another $50.
Yeah, the
there's a scratch on that box over there.
Yeah.
What can you do for me?
Yeah, the $2.99 is like my entry point. Like that's when I'm really seriously gonna buy something.
I mean, he's got
above that. It's
you got Final Fight for $70.
$75. Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Love that cab. Love that cab. I paid a lot more.
The thing I paid the most for was the Attack from Mars, and I think I paid like $320 for that.
Yes. Oh, so the other thing Paul wanted us to talk about it. I wanted to ask about this really quickly because he wanted us to talk about it on Super Game Room Dudes, and we never had a chance last night. Was yesterday we announced spectate mode for Mortal Kombat. It's something Travis has been working on. The online community was pretty excited about it. And Paul said, when is Arcade1Up going to realize we don't want these online features? We don't want online. So I wanted to get your guys' take on that. Do you think that the feedback that Paul's received on Reddit and the Reddit polls in the community is representative of what the whole community wants? And what are your personal opinions? Start with you, Nerd Lounge Master. I'm just going to say Todd.
Say that 10 times fast. So you're asking about the online features, if it should be part of every cab, or
basically the feedback they got is they don't want the online features at all. They just want games. Focus on the games and forget about all this online stuff. We don't want the tournaments, any of that stuff.
I mean, I think that's probably one of the best parts about the community is we get to spend time with each other and interact with each other. I want the online. I want the things that come, extra benefits. Am I going to turn it on every night and expect to play with somebody? No, but I want that option. It should be something that they should take away just because it adds benefit to the cabinet.
That's how we started hanging out. Was we were playing Simpsons together, Todd. Every Sunday night, we'd all get together, and I'd play X-Men with Mike. And the reason I modded T2, my Terminator 2 would not connect online anymore.
I had so much trouble.
So bad. I'd like, I'll do the mod.
So their new update that's coming out, you wouldn't even be able to get it.
I never got it.
What a massive pain in the ass too, because mine would always kick me out, and that was my least favorite one to try to put my Wi-Fi credentials into because you're there going with the gun and stuff.
Hook an Ethernet, Ethernet adapter.
I don't know if that, but maybe you could have done an adapter,
like
but
a USB-C or USB.
I don't know.
No idea. Update it. So I think what Paul is saying, he's on to something with that. Obviously the online is important. Like when I look at, fighting cabinets, especially online has got to be there. But also on the other hand, they probably shouldn't be focusing a lot of resources and a lot of attention on that because it is a niche thing. There is a small market for the people that like that stuff. So they need to keep it. It is an integral part of what they're doing. But it needs to be minimal on what they're devoting towards that.
Danny, what do you think?
I think it should stay. It helps unity, and that's take the whole competitive aspect out of it, or just playing with your friends or anything. I was just talking to people at work, and I'm like, yeah, these things also have online. They're like, what? These are people that play PS5, Xbox. So I could, if I had this, I could play against you. I'm like, hell yeah, you could. I'm like, that's dope. And that was just people who don't even have one.
Yeah.
So it's that aspect too. And then also online is very integral for updates. The cab behind me right now doesn't have the Darkstalker series, and I'm fighting for Travis to get Arcade1Up to give us a free download for the Darkstalker series to be put
free
on.
download. What world are you working in?
They don't do anything for
You
free.
gotta keep Big Blue. That's the thing. That's why
No,
you
that's-
need Big Blue.
That's what I'm saying. So like with these new cabs coming out, they should technically have all the games so everybody can play with each other. And I get why they copied it. Like research and development, it's easy to stick it in there and go, and it's price points lower. I understand that, but like I think like you could easily do like much like an Outrun where they gave you the 5th game. Blitz is a great example of that. They only had 2. They gave you the one that was supposed to be included.
You're right.
I want the
There was 2 on the
Darkstalker series
box.
on there. Yeah, why not? Like give it back to the community. This 2024 should be all about the community. Merch, like let's reunite, let's get hyped, let's get excited. There's going to be more news than just new titles, and I know that's what everybody wants. But how about fixing some of the old? It's a rabbit hole that it really goes down. Dragon's Lair, obviously we all know the issues, but I think that would be really cool if Arcade1Up just came out and said, hey, we're giving some back. Let's put the Darkstalker season, the new Street Fighter cab. I think there would not be anyone that could say, no, I'm not downloading that update. Like, why not?
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't disagree with you. It's one of the things that was the hardest about letting go of Big Blue. Was I really liked that games list. I liked having the Darkstalker games. I liked
Knights
having
of the Round,
Knights of the
Mike.
Round, and I mean, it was so hard. But at the same time, I hated that control panel. Like the control panel was horrible on Big Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's the worst one.
Yeah,
you have
and
it's
the
a
sound
cab.
is
It's a cab you have. Yeah, the sound is brutal, and it's a cab you have to sit down and play.
Yeah.
I ended up selling mine to get the one behind me to help chip away at that. But
A lot of people are taking the PCB out of the Big Blue and just putting it in other cabinets.
That's smart.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Bill, what do you think? Online play, should it stay or should it go?
Oh no, I think it should definitely stay. I'm not a big online player, especially the fighting games, because I'm like horrible at them. I get my ass kicked
I've heard
every
that you're
single
pretty
time.
decent at Killer Instinct.
I don't think I've won a Killer Instinct.
Yeah,
online.
Nah, but look, overall, I think it's a good thing to have the online. I think there's a lot of people who do enjoy playing the stuff online. And there was like the Cornercade was saying, to have the online for updates is obviously an important thing. And I think that's what they're talking more about, adding online features more than just standard updates. Obviously, I think what the point he's trying to make is he'd rather see like standard updates to a cab. Dragon's Lair I know Dragon's Lair's doesn't have Wi-Fi, but fix the audio on that. The T2 thing, fixing the pixel smoothing, that's a good thing. Those kind of fixing things more so than adding some of these features. But as far as that goes, look, if you've got spectate mode on Street Fighter, if you've got it for Marvel vs. Capcom, you ought to have it for MK. It should be consistent.
What about you, PD7? Online, yay or nay?
Yes, because I want to. Like Bill, I'm terrible at the fighting games, but I want to play the beat 'em ups, like playing Final Fight with someone.
Love
like,
those games.
We could all play that. We could all play those beat 'em ups together. Simpsons is you don't want to play Simpsons by yourself.
No.
Even X-Men, my favorite game. It's what's playing behind me right now. Playing that with somebody, it's so much better.
OTG's got a message for you there, Corny.
You get more people playing online if they had the digital downloads.
Hey,
also.
Yeah,
I've beaten OTG before, so let's.
So, really quickly, Nicholas Diorio says Reddit is hardcore. The hardcore Facebook groups are a step down. Neither group represents 5% when Arcade1Up something. It's possible, man. Like us in the community, we might be 5% too. Who knows? I don't know. But Cleveland Gaming Classic actually said that he goes online all the time and there's nobody there. That happens too. Not all the time. Like there's some communities that are great.
That's what Discord is for.
Exactly.
It's anonymous, and
that's not what Discord is for. That's what the Arcade1Up app is for.
I
said this from the beginning.
Like,
I want
it work.
Yeah, I want to have the app. Like I want to be sitting there on my couch and I'm friends with Biggie D, and then all of a sudden Biggie D logs into Street Fighter 2. I get a notification. My buddy Biggie D is playing Street Fighter 2. I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna go Honda slap the shit out of him. That's the app updates. That's what the notifications I want to know, right?
That's what B Kong did to me at CGC.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Honda killed me.
I even picked you, Biggie.
Yeah,
That's
I thought I had him. Now I know how to beat him though. Just keep your
thing
distance.
with Discord though is we can talk to each other. Like we can all interact, even if we're not even playing the same game. Like That's what Arcade1Up app needs to do then.
But yeah, see, Discord is not the majority. Yeah, there's so many people that do not use Discord. It's like you can't rely on platforms like that to run a tournament like they're doing now. It's just not going to reach enough people.
No, the only reason you would use Discord is like PD7 is saying with Todd and whatever. You've got buddies on there who have the same cabinet, and it's a quick and easy way to reach out to each other and say, "Hey, let's play."
Yeah. But that's what could be for the Arcade1Up app. You just have a
100%.
That's literally the only thing the Arcade1Up app should do.
Exactly.
Yes. Why is there even a friends list on there?
You can't get notifications what goddamn game they're playing. That's what I want it to be. Anyways,
it doesn't work. You message somebody on there and they don't even see your messages.
I can't see everything. It's so weird.
I messaged Phil when it first came out. He never responded.
Except I probably didn't get it.
Yeah.
Biggie D, you got a history of messaging people who don't get back to you. Anyways, $2 super chat. Every now and then we look for online play. It's true. I will tell you, when I still had my X-Men cab, and that one hurt to let go of. It's just, I was getting rid of like my big arcade. I had less space. But like, I love the fact that I would go into X-Men, and X-Men worked really well too. Simpsons was hit or miss with me. And I hate that Arcade1Up has different companies doing the emulation, doing the online for these, because they work differently. Simpsons, like I would try to play online, and then if my internet shagged up, it would just kick me out of the game. I'd be gone, game over. So I was like, it's harder to justify trying to play online. But I used to love popping into X-Men, and I'd be like, 30% of the way through. I just like playing beat 'em ups and like enjoying myself. Then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 people will hop in, and you're like, it's like the arcade, man. Like when you'd be playing at the arcade, and then all of a sudden 2 people would jump in. I was like, this is exactly what online should be.
Who's your character? Who do you always use?
Wolverine. Always Wolverine.
Colossus.
100%.
Like
everybody uses Colossus.
I like Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's cool too. Yeah. And honestly, with the fighting games and stuff like that, I do like not necessarily going online and just playing random people, because I got like absolute shock from trying to play Marvel versus Capcom and Street Fighter against these excellent guys, because you jump on and it's just like juggling you, like beating the shit out of you. But if you can set it up just to play with your friends, like I would so enjoy it, because I had so much fun, like just having random matches against like She-Lion one night. We played Mortal Kombat. She should have kicked the shit out of me, but she didn't, because I use my poor internet for glitchiness. So she doesn't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. She doesn't, because my internet's glitching out.
I think it'd be cool too. I think it'd be cool to just take it like one step further. And I don't even know if this is possible, but like being able to connect like my AirPods to the cab, like having Bluetooth functionality where I can talk shit to Mike while I'm whooping his ass in KI kind of thing.
The app would be cool. The app for that as well, because they tried to put a microphone port in the cab, and it ruined everything. We had speaker gate for a full year because of that microphone port. Pardon?
NBA Jam, they tried it, right?
Yeah.
They tried a different thing with it. That was in beta. That was going to be the first cab with voice support, but in the end, they were focusing on the app. That's where the voice chat should be, more like Nintendo's. It's not running on the system's hardware. They're taking up any resources. So you just have your phone out, and then you're on the app. And like I've done it before. I've played online with people. Like me and P-Dubs used to play like online games on the iArcade. Nostalgia did it. And what I would do is I'd put my phone down, and we'd be FaceTiming while we're playing the game to each other. So that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah. So the Mortal Kombat update that's going to come early next year, is that Code Mystics that did that for them?
I think so. I don't know. I don't have confirmation, but Code Mystics is the right people to do it. I mean, they're the ones who got the Killer Instinct spectate mode running, and from what I understand, they can do it with all the cabs. Any cab that comes out.
I was thinking Street Fighter's probably next then.
Oh, Street Fighter doesn't have spectate?
It does, but it doesn't have the Code Mystics.
Ah, gotcha. It's a different spectate. Yeah. Yeah, that's possible.
So they'll probably end up doing that for a bunch of games. I heard they can actually implement it on any cab.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I heard as well, too. Like, we could have spectate on Pac-Man. If you just want to go watch someone play Pac-Man. Go, Danny! You're doing super, buddy.
You can do it. Let's go.
All right, guys. I've kept you here for much longer than I intended. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Saturday night. Before we go, guys, go check out Bill's Retro Gaming Show. while Game Time may be taking a break, Bill does excellent news videos. He's a super nice guy. Go check out Bill. PD7 Phil, you've done some awesome reviews lately. I really enjoyed your Street Fighter review. Maybe gave me wicked FOMO for that cab. So thank you very much.
Danny, thank you very much. Danny and I will meet you halfway. We'll pick one up. And I know you're like Canada, but we can.
I'm not Canada. I'm like New Zealand, Canada.
Yeah, he's like a whole week's worth up north. He's like in the North Pole.
No idea, brother.
Mike B's like in the North Pole.
Yeah, that's 100% right, because like it's not like I just got to drive to meet you. I have to get planes, trains, and automobiles to meet you halfway. Nerd Lounge Master, PD7, you guys are both on Arcades Anonymous. You want to just tell people about your own shows and like what you got going on? You do your walk and talk. What about you, Nerd Lounge Master? This is your first time here. Give people a little bit of a breath about you.
Yeah, we do Arcades Anonymous on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Hang out with Chaotic VPR, which has been on your show before, Multi-Cade Matt, and G.I. Joel.
I asked them.
We got G.I. Joel's shirt right here.
Yeah, Joel.
You got to hear the reason why Multi-Cade Matt's not here tonight. I asked Multi-Cade Matt, and he's like, "Sorry guys, my Dungeon Master wasn't available last night, so we had to move our Dungeons and Dragons night." I'm a nerd, I know.
Yeah,
that sounds like Matt.
Awesome, dude. But we do that on Wednesday nights, and
thanks, Kevin.
I really haven't done a lot of content outside of that. I'm just kind of busy as I can be, but hoping to do some more as I move forward. So.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Then, of course, we got Danny, the Cornercade, Arcade1Up's #1 fan right now. Danny, I'm disappointed because you used to be so predictable. Like, if you had a review coming out, that'd be up on YouTube like 3 weeks early. We'd know your review was coming out. You don't give us enough notice anymore. I need a full 3 weeks notice before you're doing a video.
I put the Time Crisis unboxing up there for you. I actually confused some people too. They're like, "Oh, I missed it." I'm like, "No, dude, it's like a month and a half out."
It's in the future. I'm playing 3D chess here.
That's so funny.
Anyways, Danny, you're awesome. Thanks for making time to come on tonight. Guys, go check out the Cornercade. Does a lot of fun stuff. Travis sleeps on his couch. Cornercade's awesome. And Biggie D, last but not least, Biggie D, you are the self-proclaimed #1 source in Arcade1Up news. That's what Home Arcade news.
It happens.
That's before it happens.
Yeah.
So anyways, props to Biggie D. He did have absolutely correct the announcement on Mortal Kombat Spectate. Good stuff, man. And we're going to try to get people to start responding to your messages. We got to figure out what's going on there.
No, that's good to hear. I'm glad you cleared that up because, you know, who knows how long that could have gone for if we didn't know.
Oh, man. Like, I was like, I told Travis, I was like, yeah, Biggie D told P-Dubs that, like, you haven't got back to him. He's like, I don't have any messages from him. So I don't know what the disconnect is, but we'll straighten that out for you, man.
These community streams are really good for, you know, talking and, you know, figuring things like that out. I saw there's a lot of community streams going on right now on the for Home Arcade. I've been watching a lot of them. They're really cool.
Oh yeah, literally, like there's everybody going. Like I felt bad because I asked Brad to come on tonight, and he's like, "I'm already going to be on Arcade Talk," and that's totally on me. Didn't even realize they were going live that tonight, so I apologize for scheduling the same time as
Saturday.
They've been doing those Saturday nights. It's
how am I supposed to keep up with everything? There's not a TV guide for this stuff, guys.
There should be. Hey, Mike B, there should be. It's nostalgia. Why not? Let's send it out.
Like Rascals Arcade, he'll do one a month, like 1 weekend a month or 1 week a month. And there's another one I saw recently that was really good, community stream. I can't remember off the top of my head. It just happened like a couple nights ago, which really good as well. But I like this.
Yeah, I like it too. And the thing I like to do is I also like to promote you guys. Watch each other, hang out together, see if you guys can do some connections. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. So thank you for coming on my show tonight. Everybody go check him out. And you guys check each other out, in not in a weird way. Anyways, good night, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.
Good night.
See you guys. Oh, man, where's my shit?
We're
still here.
Hey. Like, wait, where am I?
Hold on.